Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Brock Beard from lastcar.info, and welcome back to another race watch-along tonight. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I hope you have a happy Friday, had a good week, everyone. We're going to plan on doing one tonight, doing another one of these next week. I'll have some more information on that shortly, but we have a little bit of late breaking news as to which race we'll be doing tonight. Now, my original plan was, and Dave W. was very right to suggest this one, of the August Michigan race in 1999. However, that is not in the NASCAR Classics database, which is pretty surprising. I could still go through with showing that race here if you guys like. It is on YouTube with Smith TV's channel here. But again, I kind of like to do the NASCAR Classics one, with all due respect to Smith TV and the other channels here, just to kind of get a clear view of these videos, kind of enjoy the high quality video that the NASCAR Classics channels kind of made available here. So I was going to look at some other races, and I was thinking, okay, well, let me kind of scramble something together here. My first thought was like maybe doing the fall Martinsville race in 99, where Brian Weitzel was Jeff Gordon's crew chief. Surprisingly, that's not on here. Also thought about maybe the last race at Riverside. I know that was suggested by somebody else. That is not on here. So I know they're still populating the list here, but yeah, so we're going to, let me just show you kind of what I'm looking at here. We'll get the race watch along screen here. I know we got the stuff in the view here, but to the left here, yeah, it kind of goes Watkins Glen to Bristol, so it didn't have that on here. So I guess we could do like a poll or something here, but I could do another race from the 99 season. We can try again, the Smith TV one it's pretty good, but I just think that the quality on the other ones here is kind of part of what I think we can enjoy on this here too. So I guess I can put a poll in here first. Let's do this. Let's bring this back here to the main stream here. I can do polls in here, can I? I haven't done this in a bit here. I should do that. Reactions. What I'll probably do here is let's do a poll as to whether we do the Michigan race for 99 and watch the version, even though it's not on the NASCAR Classics page, or we do another race. And then from there, let's just kind of go through here and we can see what races sound good. I'm already seeing some good suggestions already, and we could do that. And then we could kind of, maybe we'll get, how many options can we do in a poll? I'm just thinking. I apologize, it's a little bit scrambled here, but this is what I get for not preparing for this a little bit better here and seeing which ones are available. Let me look. I want to get to the feed here and get that pulled up. Let's see. Go to my channel. Oh yeah, hang on. I can do it this way. Maybe we'll get, how many options? You don't need to hear me in stereo here. Can I do a poll here? Can I do that? Start a Q&A. Okay, here we go. Add option. How many options can we do? Okay, so let's do this. So let's do 1999 August, Michigan on YouTube. Another race. Yeah, it's kind of surprising, that there's other ones here. Okay, I'm already seeing a lot of options, so I think everybody is pretty much on it. Let me just do this one briefly here, but let me see. Can we get that? Can I get that on here? Alrighty. You don't have to do a super chat, but thank you, Reverend Rasheem Hall Stewart. How about the 1985 Southern 500 Winston Million? That's a cool option too. Let's see. Okay, so we'll start this poll first. Making sure it's doing it here. Okay, I'll just run this for a little bit, and we'll see what everybody's thoughts are on this, and then we'll do it from here. Get the live chat. Okay. Alrighty. And we'll let that run for a little bit. And in the meantime, while we're running that poll, let's see, those of you who are voting for another race, go ahead and let me know which one you're interested in, and we can do that as well. Let's see. Get that there. We're getting a few more votes on here. 95 Bristol night race, 1990 at Richmond. Yeah, do you want another Richmond race? My plan is just to kind of give, I'll go ahead and post this here. Or or I could just tell you what you're gonna do. My plan is to do a Richmond race next week, and I want to do one of the 6 races from 1998 to 2000, and I'm gonna have a poll on that after the show. So we'll have a fan vote on that, and I think there's gonna be, I think all of those are on the database here. Let me kind of go into the list here. I believe they are. It has a good amount of them. We'll find out in just a sec here. 86. Let me kind of look here. 2003. Okay, I see 98, 98, 99. Okay, it just has the spring 99. Okay, well, this might narrow it down a little bit. Oh, that's interesting. It has all of them except Tony Stewart's first win in the September 99 Richmond. Okay, so it only has 5 of the 6 I was even looking at. So one of those is probably going to be the one for next week. So just so you know on that. So we'll have a poll on that pretty soon. But we'll, in the meantime, see what we got. Okay, we got 32 votes here. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Let's see. 62% are saying another race. Okay, so we'll go ahead and just end that poll. Okay, so let's see here. We will... Oh, my goodness. Okay. What options do we have here? Okay, 2002 Daytona 500. Yep, that's a good one. 85 or 97 Southern 500. Yeah, and again, Southern 500 is a good option. We could do something like that where it'd be a longer race, but that's okay. It's a Friday night, so I think we can try that. 98 Fall Martinsville. I'm okay with that. 2000 Napa 500. We've done that. Unless you're talking about Fontana. We did Atlanta before, so ASMR Juju, but thank you for the idea on that one as well. 611 Hornet. The 2007 Pepsi 400 is pretty good too. Okay, I see another option. Is that same one? Okay, yeah, Dylan, I see on the 2002 Daytona 500. We won't do the 2001 race because that'll be coming up in 500 days, so we'll probably do that. 99 Bristol Night Race, 95 Bristol Night Race, first Auto Club race in 97. Yeah, so again, yeah, there's some good options there. 2003. 2003 Aaron's 499. I'm not against that. I know you suggested that one earlier, Desert Fox. I like that one too. Maybe let me put a poll with some of these that I'm standing out here, and I think I can help whittle that down to one, and then we'll just pick whichever one gets the most votes. And then hopefully people are kind of filtering in here. And for those of you just popping in here, we're going to do a viewer's choice here because the Michigan race that was originally scheduled tonight is not on the NASCAR Classics database. But the good news is we are still there's still plenty of choices there on the site, so we can do a few here. Okay, I'm going to put a few in here. So, and then what I'll do in the meantime is we can do some filler here at Holiday. Can I fill that? Okay, good. I'm glad there's not too much of a character limit on this. Let's pick a few here from your guys' picks, and then that's what I'll do. I could kind of whittle it down there. Okay, yeah, that one too. How many options can I do? I'd like to do as many. Okay, I could do 4 options. Let me try to narrow it down to 4 here. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah, let me get you on there too. And we make sure these are all on the list. I can't check this. Pretty sure this one's on there. Should be. Okay, that one is. This one. Let me try that. Oh, not that one. Yeah, come on. Don't play that. 2003. That's what I'm looking at. Okay, that one's there. That's good. Okay. Let's see. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to pick a race here in just a little bit. I'm just whittling down the list here to just a couple here, and then we'll have a poll in just a little bit, and then hopefully that will be just kind of seeing which ones are trending on here. Let's see. Yeah, that's a good one too. Ooh, how about this? Let me put, just to kind of give you a variety, I'm going to kind of. I think that one's available too. Let me just check. I want to do that. I apologize. We're going to take a little bit longer here, but we're going to, I just want to give a good list here to kind of give many options without too many options. Where is that? Yeah, okay, good. That is there. Okay, good. Alrighty. Okay, that's pretty good. Let me change this one. Maybe that one to kind of try. Okay, I like that option. Ooh, yeah, let me put that in there. I think this will be a good one. Is that on there too? Let me try. I think I have the list of 4 I'm going to go with here. I think this will be a good cross-section. So, like, hopefully people are looking for different disciplines. We can do that. Is that on here? Oh, that is on here. Ooh, excellent. Okay, let me put that on there. I'll try that. I know it's not going to be able to satisfy everybody, but hopefully I think this will be a good section here. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Okay, poll coming up in just a second here. And I think, okay, hang on. Let me make sure that's, I'm sure that's there. But I'm going to check just to make sure again. Okay, yeah, you're there. Come on. Seeing how I'm confused with this thing. Hey, ready. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah, it's the same section. No wonder it's not loading. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. And okay, here we go. All right, here we go, folks. So I'll just start this poll, and I'll kind of fill the air here for a little bit. And there we go. Right. Let's hope that posts up. Okay, so here's the 4 I am looking at. Now, again, I wish I could put everybody's poll on here, as many as I could put on here, but I think this is a good lead off here between different candidates. So some of these I was thinking of, let's see. Well, one of these, rather, specifically, I was looking at. So I'll kind of go through them here. So here's what the options are. Go ahead and jump right in, and we'll just kind of, we'll kind of wait on the poll here for a little bit. And I'm sure people are kind of filling in here in the meantime anyway. So then we'll jump into one of these, and we'll do that. I'm getting distracted seeing myself on the other screen here. Okay, here we go. So yeah, first of all, 1997 Southern 500 at Darlington. So a Winston Million event from that year there. So you're kind of looking at, we got that event coming up. 2003 spring race at Talladega. So again, there's kind of a lot. I'm reluctant to spoil what happens in these for those people that haven't watched these again. The 1998 NASCAR Thunder exhibition at Motegi, which is at the Twin Ring Motegi. So that'd be the oval, not the road course that was used in the first 2 years. And then the last one is the 1986 Miller High Life 400 at Richmond, which is the Richmond Fairgrounds. So, of course, the older version of that on there. I would be perfectly happy with any of these. So whatever people like, we will do that. We're going to do that in fairly short order. So go ahead and put your votes in. And when we do get a pick, I'll go ahead and kind of do my pre-race thing very briefly. And we will jump into the video and we'll check that out. So I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to vote. We got 45 votes so far. We got 56 people in here. So we're getting pretty close to being just about set here. Let me kind of see which way the wind's blowing. It's actually not showing it on mine here. I don't want to close the poll yet. I want to just see where we are. Okay, good. It muted me that time. All righty. Okay, well, we have a front runner. So the 97 Southern 500 is inching ahead here. Let's see. 2003 Talladega, 98 Motegi, and 86 at Richmond. Okay, we might be doing that. I know it's a hard choice. I'm glad it's a hard choice. I hope that these are 4 good candidates. Thank you, everyone that was recommending this list here. these will probably, for those of you who didn't get your pick on the list here, or your candidates not winning on this one, it's okay. We'll do some more races down the stretch here, and we'll check those out as well. But we'll do that. So again, apologies it's unfortunate. This is actually a good Michigan race from the 1999 deal. Hopefully it gets added to there. And then again, I'm going to keep this one in mind to show later on. So I'm not going to spoil what happens in the race here for those of you who haven't seen it. So, and again, apologies to Dave W. because it was a great suggestion. And I did see clips from it earlier this week. But I do want to do something from the classics page because I think that's something everybody enjoys. And these 4 races are on there. So we'll go ahead and do that. And I think we're just about set here. Okay. We're up to 65 votes. Okay, we got more votes than viewers now, so I think we're pretty good. All right, we're going to end the poll right there. 97 Southern 500 it is. So let's go ahead and let me close this. And I'd like to put some notes up and stuff before. I won't do too much of that here, but I'll do a little bit just on the fly here. So stay tuned, and we'll go ahead and get that pulled up. It is on the classics page, so we're going to do that. Okay, and let me get some racing reference stats here for you guys, and we'll go ahead and jump in. All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and for voting on this. We're going to start in just a moment here. Okay. So the day is August 31st, 1997. Disregard the caption on the screen here. And we are coming into the 23rd race of the 32-race season for the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. And into this part of the year, Mark Martin leads Jeff Gordon by just 13 points. That's even under the old Latford system, which is pretty crazy. 171 points back in third is Dale Jarrett, Terry Labonte, and Jeff Burton rounding out the top 5. This is coming after the Bristol night race, which Dale Jarrett won, leading 210 of the 500 laps. Martin was second, and Dick Trickle finished third for Junie Donlavey, which is pretty surprising here as well. Steve Grissom also having a great run for the Hedrick Motorsports effort, or the Larry Hedrick team there, finishing in the 5th spot after starting 35th on the grid. And Darrell Waltrip was your last place finisher, crashing out after 115 laps. So we come into the Southern 500, and this was a No Bull 5, or excuse me, not a No Bull 5, the predecessor, the original Winston Million, introduced in 1985 that Bill Elliott won. By winning Darlington after winning both Daytona and Talladega earlier in the year, was not quite able to lock it in at the 600 earlier that year. Coming into this, Jeff Gordon had won his first Daytona 500 in February, leading a Hendrick 1-2-3 finish with his teammates Terry Labonte and Ricky Craven sweeping the 1-2-3. Gordon then went and won from the pole in the 600 to win the second round here. And then I believe it was, let's see, so the spring Talladega, was Talladega still, it was Talladega was still in the, it was still Talladega on there for one of the Winston Million rounds, wasn't it? He'd already, was it the fall one that year? I admit, I'm trying to remember. I don't recall exactly, but I believe it still was, or unless it was Indianapolis. Because I know Indy became a No Bull 5 race during that stretch. But regardless, so we get over to Ricky Rudd won the Brickyard, so that would have kept Gordon from winning it, even if it was a Winston Million race. But we do get over to the Southern 500 here. Let me get the stats on here. The Mountain Dew Southern 500. Do we have qualifying? Can I have qualifying results? Okay, we don't need that. Okay. Well, hey, how about we just go ahead and jump right into it? So, when Daytona is shortened 600. Oh, that's right. There you go. Rain shortened one. Okay, cool. Well, we are going to go ahead and jump in. So let's go ahead and switch to the race watch along screen. And let's make sure the volume is good. And hang on. Let's get
today's Grand Marshal, David Norman. Gentlemen, start your engine!
Making sure I don't peg the audio too much there. Is that okay for everyone? We can keep adjusting it. Broadcast jumping right in.
They started calling Bill Elliott $1 Million Bill back in '85 when he won the Winston Million right here at Darlington. A win today for Bill could be worth more than money could buy. He hasn't won since this race back in 1994. Today, he starts second. On the pole, it's Bobby Labonte. Like Elliott, a win would be worth more than $1 million in terms of prestige and momentum. A championship is not on their minds this year, but a top 10 finish in the points is not out of the question.
Hollywood couldn't have scripted this one any better. Row 2 finds a man with momentum. Dale Jarrett flanked with a man on a mission, Mark Martin. First, Jarrett. Nothing breeds winning better than winning. And Jarrett didn't just win here in the spring, he dominated. And you couple that effort with what happened last Saturday night at Bristol, and Jarrett gets the nod for momentum. Now the mission. Mark Martin's mission is to win a Winston Cup championship. He finds himself atop the points for the first time since October of 1990. He said no one, no one is going to outwork, outfocus, or out-effort us in the pursuit of that goal.
Hey, only one guy in this field has a shot at the $1 million. And realistically, only 5 have a shot at the points championship. These other 38 guys are here for one reason, to try and win the Southern 500. In the last 2 races at this track, 2 different drivers, 2 sparkling second-place finishes. Hutch Strickland last year, Ted Musgrave this spring. The greatest names in NASCAR have been tortured by the Lady in Black, but occasionally she will smile at a driver. A fast, flirtatious smile. But it's probably just a tease. Is she offering fate or fantasy? Like most mystery women, it's often hard to tell.
Alrighty.
And all these things, the Winston Million,
So
all these things
I just had to take a second to kind of post it on Twitter there, just to give everybody a heads up of the schedule change here on this.
Call this track too tough to tame for nothing. It has bitten you, it's bitten me, it's bitten almost every driver who has run any amount of laps on this tough racetrack. You have to have total concentration every moment. And to add to that concentration level this year, they have flip-flopped the track going into turn 1.
Ah, this is the one where they switched it around.
Now, it used to be 3 and 4.
There we go. Okay, good pick, everyone.
Turns 1 and 2 is 3 and 4, and vice versa, and it keeps us all mixed up all day long. But that's going to add to their concentration level. And then pit stops.
Pit stops. You know, some of the drivers that depending on the front stretch have never made a pit stop there. So getting in the pits, getting off the pits is going to be a problem for them.
Man, look at the crowd. My goodness.
ESPN, the world leader in motorsports, welcomes you live to a Labor Day weekend tradition for the past 47 years. The NASCAR Winston Cup, Mountain Dew Southern 500 from Darlington, South Carolina. As we enter this 23rd race of the year, the separation between first and second in points is the closest in history, with Mark Martin on top of the points for the first time since 1990. 3 drivers in the top 10, Jeff Burton, Bobby Labonte, and Ted Musgrave, are the only ones who have not won on this storied old racetrack. Hi, everyone. I'm Bob Jenkins.
I was worried they weren't going to play the music.
Before we go green, $1 million possible for Jeff Gordon. One of the closest points battles in history, plus a racetrack that these drivers have essentially never competed on. And while we're talking about potential winners, let me name a couple of more. Dale Earnhardt, a 9-time winner at this racetrack, and Jeff Burton, who has accumulated more points on tracks longer than 1 mile in length than anybody else in 1997. Jeff Burton drives a Ford here this afternoon, and as far as the breakdown is concerned,
now I will admit, there were 2 seasons, 96 and 97, that I actually didn't watch that many races. So this is, I will admit, this is a part of the sport's history where it's almost new to me here.
His second pole of 1997, and alongside Bill Elliott, first front row start since
just
Phoenix
love the sound
in
effects.
95. The second row, Dale Jarrett won the spring race from the pole, and Mark Martin, the new points leader. The third row, Ken Schrader, 4th in last year's Southern 500.
Hutch Strickland,
who was second in that race.
Yep, almost won that one. That was such a heartbreaker. Dick Trickle after the top 5 at Bristol.
And winning 3 straight. And Dick Trickle, who's finished 3rd last week, his best finish since 1990. The 5th row, Sterling Marlin, won Darlington win here in 95. And Ernie Irvin, whose first race in the 28 car was here in 1993. The next row, Brett Bodine, second in the 93 Southern 500, and Jeff Bodine, who finished third twice in 31 Darlington races. Then in the 7th row, we have Ward Burton, 8th Darlington race, and Michael Walter.
I'm not as crazy about the Pontiacs from this era, but they're still pretty nice.
In row 8, we find Roush teammates Ted Musgrave, who finished second in the spring, and Jeff Burton. In row 9 this afternoon,
I know, great paint schemes, absolutely. Johnny Benson during this ascendancy.
The rest of the starting grid, the racetrack is the same.
Jeff Purvis, how about that?
No, it's not the same because there are different numbers on the wall, and I think that will have a little bit of a mental effect. It'll take them a little while, even though they've been here for a couple of days in practice and of course in qualifying, but they got to get all of that in coordination with their spotter because they might call the wrong turn at the wrong time. A lot of great drivers back in the field here today. And this is a tough racetrack to pass on, but if you got a good race car, you can do it.
We've heard Ray Evernham.
Todd Bodine driving the Buzz McCall car. One of only 3 starts that year for Jeff Purvis, the Larry Lockaby car.
This is a Mountain Dew Southern 500. There's the final row, Jeff Green and Lance Hooper.
And Rusty Wallace.
Poor Rusty. Oh, no.
Again. And we had 3 drivers that missed the field. Dave Marcus for the 5th straight time. Also Greg Sachs and Morgan Shepard.
The Joe Falk team
today.
Sent home there, too.
Onboard cameras starting 43rd today.
Amazing to see some of the people that made the show. I mean, Jeff Purvis with that Lockaby car, only 3rd start of the year for that one. Lance Hooper, very rare start. Jeff Green taking over for Diamond Ridge. Very interesting interview Elliott Sadler gave, both Elliott and Hermie talking about the struggles Diamond Ridge had in the 90s. If you haven't heard the Dale Jr. one yet, definitely recommend to check that out.
Started 4th, and Dale Jarrett.
Bill Elliott still winless since this race in 1994. Trying to pull off the win and gets on the front row.
Jeff Gordon and a lot of extra coverage. The crowd is on its feet.
All right.
The seat is filled. The 48 Mountain Dew Southern 500 is under green.
Yeah, definitely a moment coming up here. Oof, oof. There it is, Earnhardt in the wall.
And Dale Earnhardt has a problem. The car is down low on the racetrack.
The infamous moment where he blacked out on the first lap. And was already towards the back of the field when it happened. Luckily, didn't get hit by anybody else.
Race of 1997. And Earnhardt slow here on the main.
Oh man, that did a lot more damage than I remember.
Bill Elliott within a car length.
And no caution.
As Earnhardt went by our booth position here, you can see a good bit of damage to the right side.
This is Earnhardt still at the very end of his losing streak between 96 and, of course, winless in 97, and then going on to win the 500 in 98. Oh, there's the old master. Elliott for the lead. I'm not a big fan of the Thunderbirds from this era. But Lastbro loves them way more than me. I didn't mind the Tauruses, but the Thunderbirds with all those huge grills, very rectangular cars, they are still pretty awesome.
Teammates for Jack Roush move up past Michael Waltrip.
Here the Bonnie's going to try to follow because the position is on the inside going down in turn 1. The Bonnie backs off, lets Michael Waltrip get down to the corner. So Michael in a favorite return.
That was it Mike Dillon or was it Mike Skinner that stepped in for Earnhardt? I'm trying to remember this without looking up too many notes here. I know that was definitely a big story for sure.
He was trying to pass in practice yesterday, and they almost wrecked, but he gets by and cleaned it this time.
And the battle is for second position.
Elliott pulling away already.
Bobby Labonte are going at it. Mark Martin watching from the pole position.
I like this leaderboard too, where you can shrink it to just show the car numbers, and then every once in a while to expand and show the driver info. I always remember trying to find drivers I pulled for and see them actually get in the top 10. There you go. See, just like that.
Strickland is in 5th, and then back to Jeff Gordon.
Look at Earnhardt coming back in again. Looks like on the back straightaway. I'm not used to seeing the back straightaway. Oh, hang on.
And Rusty Wallace also has damage on the Miller.
Robbie's still in the 40.
He's, I think, in the pits on the backstretch.
So the caution flag comes out for the first time today on lap number 7 as a 3 or 4 car crash.
I mean, nowadays at Darlington, the back straightaway is kind of just for like work equipment. Oh, Rusty got damaged already. Wow.
And Todd Bodine.
I liked how this paint scheme looked on the old Thunderbird of Rusty's. Not, he was just snake bit at Darlington. It's amazing he never won there, but oh, and already somebody behind the wall.
You saw there Todd Bodine go behind
Todd
the
in
wall.
the
Here's
Buzz
the
McCall
replay.
car.
And we see the 96 car blowing an engine, going in the corner, puts oil or more.
Oh,
on the
Rusty
racetrack,
just,
and all these
nothing
cars
for
running
it.
with No place to go. Hit that oil.
Darrell Waltrip
Like
running the
Dale
Mountain
Jarrett
Dew
did last year.
throwback
1
scheme.
million there.
Lance Hooper getting by.
Similar type situation, same turn, different numbers on the turn this year.
Now let's
Yeah, it looks like
listen
2
and
pit
watch
roads
the
still. I think it wasn't until like,
Rusty Wallace.
oh gosh, was it 2000 or 99? It's one of those, oh, look at the concrete dust coming in the car. Wow. But yeah, I think it was, certainly by 2001, they had the 1 pit road on the front straightaway. But this still has 2 pit roads right after they switched the
Something like
ends.
that happens in front of him. We see Earnhardt in the pits. Rusty Wallace right behind him with the hood up on his car. But there's nowhere to go when you hit an oil slick like that.
Yeah, just brutal hits without the safer barrier.
This accident occurred toward the back of the pack. Everybody up front, including Jeff Gordon, is okay. The 30 car of Benson is now on pit road also.
Mike Dillon, okay.
Tires going on in that car.
Also
Yeah, that
heavy
sounds right.
chassis adjustment.
I know that, what was it, Skinner got in for him at Indianapolis.
Is Earnhardt okay?
Like they're trying to get information, but see, it's so difficult back then. I don't know if they have a pit road reporter. They should have somebody on the backstretch.
Let's check this out.
So Dale Earnhardt on pit road while
Ray Evernham still with the
Evernham and
Gordon
the rest of the Rainbow Warriors
team there.
are in good shape at the moment. Jeff running in the 6th position as the caution is over Darlington for the first time this afternoon in the Mountain Dew Southern 500.
Dick Trickle's still hanging on to the top 10. Good for him. Very early on in the Southern
9 laps
500.
completed here at Darlington, still under caution because of a crash up in the 1st and 2nd turns that involved several cars. But before that, Dale Earnhardt crashed.
Oh, goodness.
And Earnhardt, they're carrying him
Got an oxygen mask,
to
looks
the
like.
truck or someplace. We'll have to check this out.
He appears to have an oxygen mask. This is the onboard from Ricky Craven. We'll see if we can see what happened.
This is going down to turn 1. And we see Earnhardt up against the wall. There he hits the wall going in 1. He comes off. Now he's back in the middle of the racetrack, but now the car won't steer. So as he comes off turn 4, the car will not.
It's amazing he
Turn
kept
2,
off the
I'm
wall
sorry, I'm turned around.
in the
John
second part of the
Kernan.
corner.
We're on the backstretch pitch outside of the care center where Dale Earnhardt has just been taken in. No one on the crew seems to know what's wrong, but when Dale hit the wall, he stayed out there, and on the radio he kept telling him, oh, I can't find my way onto pit road. Well, he finally came down onto pit road. They unhooked him, took him out of the car. He looks really shaken up.
Just
They
a scary
called for the doctor to
situation.
come down. They have brought him to the care center. Now we understand they've sent for an ambulance, but right now Dale Earnhardt is in the infield
Teresa.
care center being checked out.
That's his wife, Teresa, being led into the care center.
What a development here in the early going of this race, of all the stories that we have been anticipated to cover, and this certainly is not one of them.
And again, if I said this incorrectly, it was the very first
99.
lap,
Okay, thank you, Eric.
of the first lap.
Yeah, 99 with 1 pit road. Okay. I know they had it certainly for the 500 days episode.
Prior to today's race, Dale Earnhardt had completed 99.7% of the laps run in 1997, and he had not had a DNF all year. Green flag comes out, back to racing at Darlington as Bill Elliott leads them to the flag with Bobby Labonte, Dale Jarrett, Mark Martin, and Strickland in 5th position. Jeff Gordon right behind him.
Oh, good point there, Caddis, about the infield care center. Oh, NASCAR man, very good point. Thank you for tuning in, by the way. about 10 months older than the age Ralph Earnhardt was when he died. His medical moment was definitely concerning at the time, considering his family history. Absolutely. And certainly hadn't anticipated this coming into it, too. Dale Jr., I guess just today, is now older than his father was in the day of his last race.
Passing on the wrong side on that restart. He was running up in the 20th spot. Tough break for late speed.
You can't pass on the inside before you take the flag or cross the line, and apparently late speed did, so he's being penalized.
That's a stop and go penalty. Unfortunate to get in and out, not lose a lap.
John Kernan is with Rusty Wallace.
And early into your day, Rusty, what happened to the car?
They blew up going into turn one. Somebody did laid oil line everywhere, and we all hit it. Everybody crashed right behind him. It was just a real bad deal. I qualified bad, and when you qualify bad, that's what gets yourself into. But, man, the car was handling perfect. I was really happy with it.
Well, a short day for Rusty Wallace. He's heading back to the trailer to make the drive back home to Charlotte.
Get this pulled up here, too.
Jeremy Mayfield, and that's going to take 15th, 16th, and 17th as you look at a field summary with the numbers in parentheses indicating that driver's starting position.
Looking back here.
Not a great deal of movement here in the first 15 drivers. Here
This was indeed Rusty Wallace's 8th last place finish, completed just 5 laps before that incident with the oil. So indeed, Rusty did have a short afternoon there. How many times did he get last at Darlington? I think he had a few. I believe he blew up once in the Kodiak car. Kind of pulling this up here at the same time.
Very close to that wall up between turns 1 and 2. Late speed has made his pit stop and stop and go.
Let's cross-reference this.
Now, as the leader comes off
Love that tide ride. Oh my goodness.
Lucky to get up to speed and stay in the lead lap. I don't think he'll do it.
Terry Labonte, or rather Ricky Rudd, looking to the inside of Michael Waltrip.
Yeah, indeed, Rusty Wallace lost an engine after 14 laps in the 1990 Southern 500. So he had 2 last place finishes at Darlington, both in the Southern 500.
Did get a Darlington strike. Well, he kept a good job from not getting that strike. Did a good job from keeping it out of the wall.
Ricky Rudd is running in 18th position. We're on board with Michael Waltrip, who is 17th.
Correct, yeah. Junior will be 50 in October.
And up front, Bill Elliott's just driving away.
He has checked out here in the early going. There's second and third, Bobby Labonte and Dale Jarrett. They're 7 car lengths behind the front runner. Back about
Well, Jarrett had famously missed out on his shot of going for the Winston Million the year before. Slipped in some oil, got in the outside wall, ended his run. It's the oversized logos that warp around the body, GP laps. I agree. This just looks so. It just looks so wonderful.
Right now, sort of sitting there, nobody close to him in front or behind.
Another car on pit road.
Clean racetrack to run on there. That's a good position to be in. Ride there for a while.
Jeff Gordon has a great talent for saving those tires, riding around there, saving those tires. And when everybody else's tires starts wearing and slowing down, his car maintains that same speed. Jerry Punch?
That's exactly what Ray Abraham just said to Jeff Gordon. He said, Jeff, you got to think survival for 400 miles. All you want to do is survive for the first 400 miles, and then we'll go after them the final 100. But you're great exactly where you are.
This is with the $1 Million Date paint scheme. I know it was produced in diecast. You look above the DuPont logo. Oh, hang on.
Somebody on that last wreck out there and it bowed the nose under so that the front air dam was actually dragging the racetrack. So Kyle has come down pit road. He's lost several laps in already. But the team has fixed that damage. Now they're checking under the hood to see if there's anything else wrong with the car. But Kyle Petty sitting here on pit road and out of contention for now.
His best finish here at Darlington way back in 19.
No other updates on Earnhardt yet during this broadcast. They showed him checked into the infield care center. But so far, at least in the broadcast itself, no other updates. Yeah, Jeff Gordon, the hood of the car right above the DuPont logo says $1 Million Date. And that was his, kind of like how Bill Elliott had the special paint scheme with the backwards 9 looked like an E on his car in '85.
Jeff Burton wanted to talk about yesterday afternoon, the experience and the great run that he had in the Busch race. Now, Mark Martin just got passed by Jeff Gordon as he continues his march toward the front. But the story on Burton is the fact that yesterday in happy hour, they had to chase this car a little bit. But the weather change from yesterday to today is considerable. He told his crew the car is good, trying to get around and does slide by Dick Trickle, but he's not sure how good it can be because of the change in the weather. They built that car specifically for Darlington. They brought it here and tested here. They are a team that definitely plans to win here.
Jeff Burton, of course, would go on to have some interesting success over at Darlington, sweeping the races in '99, I believe, including that famous one where he hit the outside wall and it started raining, destroyed the right side of his car, but luckily it was enough rain that it ended the race, so he still won it. Elliott absolutely on cruise control. Gordon in fourth. Dick Trickle still in the top 10. As they said in this broadcast, yep, Elliott at this point been the only driver to ever win the Winston Million. Others have come close. We talked about Davey Allison back on Tuesday when he was trying to win the Winston Million at Darlington. Rain cut the race short. Darrell Waltrip ended up winning the last race of his career. Talk about Dale Jarrett in '96 as well. Slipping in some oil, took him out of contention there. And now here we are in '97 with Bill Elliott leading. In his own car, mind you. After his last win here in '94, Junior Johnson sold his team. Brett Bodine started up after that. Elliott's driving his own car, had not won in that car in '95 or '96 or this part of '97, although he did have probably the best car at the end of the '97 500 before the Hendrick trio got around him, and Gordon won the first leg of the Winston Million. Perhaps the passing of the torch at that point.
Last time by, Jeff Gordon was the fastest car in the top 6.
Here is Elliott completing lap number 30.
Yep, Titanic came out in '97. Right, good call, Randy Bowman.
Now we see that Gordon is within just 2 or 3 car lengths.
Came out in December. Was going to come out in the summer, and then ended up getting postponed.
This is how Jarrett got second from Bobby Labonte.
Goes down turns 1 and 2. Labonte drifts up. Jarrett turned the car, goes under him. Come off turn 2.
Bill Weber was a great pit reporter. Absolutely, Kyle
And
Gustafson.
now we will see
Definitely agree.
Bill Elliott continuing to lead a 3.8 second advantage on Dale Jarrett.
It's great when you see these old cars and the body roll they have. They just have so much personality. Strickland still hanging on the top 10. Dick Trickle has fallen out of it. Schrader about to fall out of the top 10 now.
Tries to run down Dale Jarrett.
We talked about Jeff Burton a moment ago, guys. He's still...
Yeah, indeed, the McDonald's curse. Yeah, Dalton Reed, you're bringing that up too. Yeah, the one that Bubba Wallace started in '94 with Jimmy Spencer after he won his first 2 races, the only 2 races of his Cup career, at Daytona and Talladega in July, coming into the Brickyard 400, the inaugural one. Spencer injured his shoulder in an accident starting the Brickyard, and it wasn't until about probably 2001, 2002 that he started to get good. And then, of course, he had the rivalry with Kurt Busch by then.
between 60
So,
70 laps.
the McDonald's streak ended in 2021 with
But his car is
Bubba Wallace winning at Talladega, rain-shortened event.
At the line, Elliott with a 154.0.
And then, of course, his son, Chase, would end the Hooters streak just this past April.
Could be one of the fastest cars.
Way back to '92.
It won't be that time because he passed
I guess by this year we didn't have a Hooters car in the field again.
5.5.
Rick Mast had it in '96. Elton Sawyer and Loy Allen and such before then.
Jeff Burton, 155. He's passed his teammate Mark Martin now and has moved into the field.
Do it again on the line.
Jeff Bodine still in his own team there, the QVC car.
From 154 down to 153 and no traffic. And Burton still
Last year of the QVC deal.
56 miles per hour. So Jeff Burton, the X-Side car, clearly right now the class in the top 10.
And rest assured, his spotter and pit crew are
Oh, the Tide Ride with the Pontiac Lars DVD time? Absolutely. I think, personally, the 2003 one was gorgeous. I'm not as crazy as 96 to 2002. I remember as a kid not really liking them. I loved the 91 to 95 version. I don't care how not competitive it was. I'm sure it was. I've heard some things from some of these teams. They talk about just how just aerodynamically it was just terrible, but it looked so awesome. I didn't care. You know, it's easy for me to be. I don't have to drive it. But yeah, you got Lake Speed in the Melling car. They don't have any sponsorship after looks like Spam had left, running a plain red car. But before Cartoon Network came on in '98. Yeah, the Shoney's car. That's a good one too, Sethead.
I think he does. He just radioed and said, "Hey, Ray, the car is loose." And Ray said, "How bad is it?"
You're right. Caddis, yeah, Repo 9 did get Hooters from Junior Johnson, but that wasn't for a while. You didn't get that till 2002.
Ray said, "My friend, just back off."
2002 to 2003.
Back off now and try to hang on to it.
This is 97, yes, for those of you tuning in. Watson Roadster. 97 Southern 500. I know we originally talked about doing a 99 Michigan race. It was not in the NASCAR Classics database. I figured for a Friday night, definitely want to do one with from their channel. So we're pulling up the 97 Southern 500. We're just in the first portion of the race here now, for those of you tuning in. Oh, and Burton has just roughed up DJ. 97 had some, I think 97 was when Twister came out, or was that 96? 96, 97 had some pretty good movies. It wasn't 98. Things started going downhill. Movies, you had the two asteroid movies, and both of them sucked. Like, yeah, 98 movies weren't as good. I think it's when the Godzilla movie came out, and that was terrible too.
He narrowed the margin from laps 31 to 35. It was 6.9 seconds.
Jeff Burton just on a rail here, up to second, trying to get the lead.
Look how consistent he is, from 31.4 seconds to 31.6 seconds.
And by now, Jeff had just won his first race at Texas earlier this year.
Get the job done here at Darlington.
I think he won Martinsville also. I believe that was the fall race though, so that probably hasn't happened yet. 96 was Twister. Okay, yeah, there you go.
Continues to set the pace here.
Yeah, 96 movies are peak.
He has is a little over 4 seconds now, and so Bill Elliott.
Oh, Titanic was fantastic, absolutely.
Has climbed from 13th to 9th in the point standings.
Shoku Tasumi, thank you so much. I appreciate you enjoying the videos. Hope you enjoyed the stream tonight too.
Only Jeff Gordon eligible for the Winston Million here this afternoon.
You like asteroid movies? All right, Beast of Metal. All right. I don't know. Armageddon is, it's so over the top. I guess it's, you know, it's, the problem is I'm a disaster film purist, and I always believe that once you get to like the Meteor movies, like that's kind of when things are just kind of over the top. The same thing happened in the 70s. There's a Meteor movie that had Sean Connery in it, and it was called Meteor, and it had Carl Malden and these other guys, and it wasn't very good. And the same thing happened in the 90s. You had good disaster films, and then you had not one but two asteroid movies. You had Deep Impact, and you had Armageddon. And I don't know. Deep Impact's effects, I think, were better, but it was, the tone was, I don't know, not quite right either, I guess. I mean, here we go.
Well, he's stable. He kind of started. I talked to him for just a minute. He was seeing double. He was a little real groggy before the race started, and his voice. We were going to try to get him in before the race ever started, and he didn't hear us. He couldn't communicate with us, and so we're going to go see, and that's all I can tell you at this time.
We'll be transported to another hospital, right, for further evaluation.
They're transported to the hospital now, and that's where I'm headed.
And Mike Dillon getting in the car to run some laps the rest of this race, maybe?
I don't even know who's getting it. I'm worried about them.
Wow.
As we all are. That sounds like a very strange situation, Ned.
Yes, it does. And certainly our prayers and best wishes will be with you.
So, yeah, I mean, a real bizarre situation there to start the race, for sure. It's interesting to see in real time how that information was doled out during it. Hooper losing a lap. Poseidon Adventure was awesome. 1972. Oh, yeah. Independence Day was 96 or 97, wasn't it? Was it 96? Okay. Armageddon's pretty good. The soundtrack, I will tell you this. Armageddon's soundtrack is quite good. The opening is quite good. It's not, I'll walk it back a little. It's not a terrible movie because again, disaster films, you have to grade them on a curve, and a lot of the ones I like are maybe kind of hokey. Just the other night, we watched The Swarm, which is a movie out of 1978, where it has Michael Caine and these other actors, and they have to fight African killer bees. And it's just it is Mystery Science Theater level ridiculous. So if you haven't seen that, it's pretty ridiculous. Oh, Green Day, yeah, absolutely. I have a copy of Dookie on cassette tape. That was the first album I bought. I liked Independence Day. I didn't mind that. I'm gonna do a video. I've been making preparations to do a video on movies at some point here. I just haven't decided exactly how to approach it, but definitely stuff from the 90s there. And Armageddon will be in it, and Deep Impact will be in it too.
In and out of the pit area.
I saw him get that just a moment ago, and I'm sure that the tires are getting to the point where they
Oh gosh, yeah, Death of Princess Diana. That was the same weekend, wasn't it? That was the end of August, like Labor Day weekend.
He's down to 151.5 miles per hour the last
Yeah.
time by.
And just about everybody else is down.
Ooh,
to
Mike Skinner with pretty good damage.
149
Somebody's routed him out of the way.
There's Lake Speed, who stopped and penalized a moment ago. He's trying to get back front. He is a lap down.
Gary Bradbury in this race,
Car of Sterling Marlin
where the Jim Wilson team got Pilot Travel Center sponsor.
And Rudd moves on the inside.
Kyle Petty 14 laps down. My goodness. Long day already.
Looks like he might have that position.
Indeed he does. There's Ted Musgrave right behind.
Waiting for the driver to change on Earnhart's car.
In the 14th position, and Musgrave goes to the inside and passes Sterling easily.
Well, I believe the handle has gone away.
Mars Attacks, that's another one. That was pretty silly, but you know, it's meant to be, which is fine. Jack Nicholson's pretty good in that.
Since the restart on lap number 12 when he was 19th and now has moved up to the 12th position. So the winner of the Brickyard 400
See,
has won 2 races.
Armageddon and Deep Impact, like, you know, okay, they have their moments, but what I really like is Daylight with Sylvester Stallone. I think that was easily the best disaster film of that era. It's right. I mean, Twister is right up there if you counted it. I counted that almost more of an action movie than a disaster film, even though it's got disaster elements.
Last time out, 148.6 miles per hour for Burton as he tries to wade his way through this traffic.
And Jimmy Spencer has moved up to 7th position. Bobby Labonte falling.
That Campbell paint was great on Spencer. Distinctive color pattern.
Bobby's car is not very good either right now.
Our Patreon sticker for 2023 was that paint scheme.
Some adjustments.
Yeah, I don't have a Discord. I haven't thought about that. Maybe one of these days that'll be something. Maybe do something with the Patreon on that. But no, I have not explored that yet.
Boy, it feels like you've just traded
I
in
enjoy
your
doing these streams though. Maybe if I could budget some time for that, I think that'd probably be good. Oop, Daryl about to get a lap down.
Walter with a 17 car in celebration of his 25 years. They're painting the car to resemble other cars that he has driven. And of course, that is the old Mountain Dew paint scheme.
After the 99.
29th position.
Yeah, I'm with you, Auto Rockin'. I personally think the old Twister is infinitely better than the new one. I hate to rain on people's parade because I know a lot of people really like it, and that's fine. I don't want to take anything away from people there on that, but the old one is just it shouldn't have been attempted. I think if you want to do another tornado movie, people have done that, but it shouldn't have had that label. I think it would have been perfectly fine as its own thing. So, yeah.
Jeff Burton leads the Mountain Dew Southern 500 with 58 laps completed. There is Jeff Burton, who is in 4th position at the moment.
Yeah, Mike Skinner's rookie season. Exactly, yeah.
There's your second, third, fourth.
You mentioned Dante's Peak, Lars DVD time. Yeah, no, Dante's Peak is fantastic. You had a pair of them. You had Dante's Peak and you had Volcano with Tommy Lee Jones. But Dante's Peak is so much better. Again, you had one. That's the problem. Like Deep Impact and Armageddon are like that. You had one that takes it a little more seriously, and the other one that's almost satire because it's just over the top. And Volcano and Dante's Peak are like that too.
Jeff Gordon, Mike, so that we can hear the conversations.
Twister was the first movie to be released on DVD. I didn't know that. That's a good factoid.
The NASCAR spotlight now is in reference to the NFL.
Yeah, Andrew Haywood.
NHL
Yeah.
So we have. Let's listen.
Hope you enjoy it for sure. Oh, it's got its moments. It's got its moments, but I won't spoil it.
All right, bud, you're running a pretty good clip there. Is the looseness all the way through or just exit? Pretty much all the way through. 4. Of the 99 inside, clear behind. I'm doing all I can right now to hang on to it. 4. Be smooth, do the best you can. When we say, we'll get you tightened up, bud.
Mission Mars. Is that the one with Tim Robbins and Gary Sinise? I saw that and I thought that one hasn't aged too well. It's a little ridiculous. I remember they had the sponsor with Steve Park.
When you come in, we'll fix the thing. Gives the driver all the confidence in the world that it will be fixed. And those pit stops will be coming up here pretty soon.
I haven't seen Volcano in a while. I actually ordered a DVD of it because I haven't seen it. I think it's on like Hulu already, but yeah. I'm very big into physical media for sure. Star Trek or Star Wars? Tough call. I would probably Star Trek. I liked Next Generation. We marathoned that recently, and I enjoyed that. I was never that big into Star Wars. A lot of my friends were. Yeah, George Lucas didn't ruin my childhood. He didn't really have it to begin with. I was watching this instead. Although in '97 I was much more into ocean liners because of the Titanic movie coming out. That was something. The history of that was much more fascinating to me. They like Mission to Mars? Okay, there you go. Oh, Austin Powers was in '97. Oh man.
Here's Jerry.
Just do a stream for some niche movie we've never seen. I don't know if that would get taken down or something, but it'd be kind of fun to do. Can you do that? I don't know if even people do that on YouTube. Seems like that would be a copyright issue. I like the idea though, Willie.
Wow, just outstanding work by the Rainbow Warriors as well back out onto the racetrack.
That's something we have to mention is about the rubber that accumulates on the grill of these cars and makes them overheat. They got to be sure. We see that guy running around with that of the 28 car. If they don't, they'll overheat.
There's Jeff Purvis in.
And here, because of the consistency of the racetrack service, that plays a...
Musgrave's Prime Star paint scheme is cool, but I mean, like the original version with just the family channel by itself with the red, white, and blue from '94, it's so much better. This one's okay, but I mean, it was already transitioning into something different. Like, you know, it became when it was blue and gold by '98. Ah, that's such a good paint scheme. Drive-through crew.
Awesome Bill from Dawsonville, who won back in 1985. That's his last Winston Cup victory down here in September of '94, 3 years ago.
Or movie reaction videos, they chop it down. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you can do that. That makes sense. Maybe just react to scenes or something.
1 year ago,
but probably at that point, just try to make a video of my own, just the clips. Oh, I love the Chrysler Imperial, Dalton Reed. Absolutely. Oh, it's awesome, Caddis. Yeah. I actually was on the Jeremiah O'Brien. We did a cruise during Fleet Week because my birthday is around Fleet Week time, and we did that back in 2000 or 99. I think it was 99. Really cool. But I didn't know they actually used the reciprocating engine room. Makes sense, though. It very much looks like it. Oh, that Spencer's engine shut off there.
Pit stop. Let's go over to Dr. Jerry Punch.
55 miles an hour. Mark Martin brings the car down pit road. He'll get 4 tires on the back.
I just love that aggressive number style on Spencer's car. It looks so nice. Oh, look at all those rounds out on Martin's car.
Left side tires going on as we check in with Bill Weber.
Terranabani's getting 4 tires. They had a lug nut fall off on the right rear. Took them extra long in the pits. He pulls out with 50 tires. We wait for Jeff Burton.
Jeff Burton continues to stay out there as Ricky Rudd and Terranabani come out of the pits. So Burton, the way his car is handling, he won't lose as much as some of the others would on staying out there because his car.
Oh, the core? Yeah. No, that.
He can't afford to stay too long.
Beast of Metal, yeah. The core is a terrible movie. Now watch, I'm going to say that, and I'm going to run into somebody here that's somebody that's a big fan of that movie. I thought that one's pretty terrible. I've seen other ones that are just completely unwatchable. Didn't like the Mark Martin scheme in 98. I don't know, I kind of like that more. I mean, the 97, the 95 to 97, or 96 97 one are pretty good. I mean, I usually think more of the 92 paint scheme when he Folger's first step back. This is the 97 Southern 500 RJ the Great. Thank you for tuning in. What a lightning fast 21-second stop.
Some of the others that are running up front, but Jeff Burton completes his pit stop, and now we watch for the leader to come by. And has decided to come in for a pit stop. Michael Walter picked up the lead there for a lap, but he is now in.
I love all the branding on the dashboard. That's awesome.
Michael Walter almost got his first win here at Darlington, but a broken air gun did him in.
That was 1991.
Right front is tight, right rear is on. It's swinging around to the left side. Ricky Craven's in on the backstretch. John.
Tires going, left side tires going on Ricky Craven, laying a little long on the left front.
Oh boy, that was a real slow stop on the left front.
19 seconds for Michael Walker as he goes back out. Also,
Craven coming back from his wreck in Texas.
Both cars going back on the racetrack. And the leader is the 30 car of Johnny Benson, but he gives that lead up to come into the fifth. Remember, we saw him on pit road during that call.
I kind of like, they did change it. I mean, Mark Martin in 97, the scheme was different from 92 to 96, right? Or 92 to 95 had the one with the actual angled number and the kind of color blocking on the doors. Looks way good.
Benson getting right side tires. The fuel is in. Now they make the crack bar and the wedge adjustment. A big one. This car was very, very loose yesterday.
Johnny Benson, his second season. I never liked when they added those black accents on the Pennzoil car. It looked better just plain yellow. But I see why they did it. And Steve Park's car, of course, looks great.
Jeff Gordon is the leader of the race, and he has almost a 3-second advantage on Dale Jarrett.
Just a torrid pace so far in this race.
2-second pit stop by the Warriors contributed to his lead.
Before Wachovia bought up First Union. There you go.
Watch the cars come by. There goes Dale Jarrett. Where's the 99 car? There he comes. Last time by.
I like that NASCAR, man. Yeah, Spencer Martin and Terry Labonte, like they're competing to see whose number is tilted more. It almost looks like Spencer won that one.
6 laps longer than did Jeff Gordon, and Jeff Gordon with those new tires on was running at least a second a lap faster than Jeff Gordon, and so that let him put some distance there. Now, when we get near the end of the run, the green flag run, that'll probably even itself out.
The problem with the core is, like, it seemed like they didn't make any of the characters very likable. Like, I mean, they kind of forgot about that. There's, I don't know. There's one scene where, like, yeah, I mean, well, I don't know how much I want to say if somebody's interested in seeing it, but yeah, there's one scene that just straight up made me laugh. Oh, here comes Earnhardt's car back. It's alive.
Mike Dillon, the driver on the Detroit Gasket on the NASCAR Busch Series. Also, Richard Childress' son-in-law, so obviously he was here.
It's like running the apron, probably making a stop on the backstretch there before continuing on.
First lap of the race, Dale Earnhardt hit the wall. He was taken from the car. An oxygen mask was put on him. He was taken to the infield care center and is being taken to a local hospital for.
I wonder how much the crowd knew what was going on. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there was a camera guy that was filming what was happening with Earnhardt.
He would not be allowed to get in a car that he had not practiced, but this is a special exception here today.
Now coming up on that car that gave him some problems during happy hour yesterday.
And see, there you go. That keeps Earnhardt from finishing last in this race. He never finished last in a 43-car field. And this is probably one of the closest times he ever came to doing it. He was last in, I believe, a 42-car race at Riverside. But yeah, Rusty Wallace's wreck, it dropped Rusty to last, and Dillon running enough laps to make a difference. A very long race. I mean, if the car is not that heavily damaged, you can clearly come back out there. But, I mean, certainly wasn't the high priority for the team at that point.
Musgrave and Hut Strickland.
And let's put Musgrave in front of Hut Strickland.
Yeah, PA systems probably let people know. Probably did, but you can't hear the PA very well at these tracks. At least I never can. I mean, if you're listening to Scanner, people listening to Scanners can certainly understand.
Gordon just passed. Ken Schrader put him a lap down, and let's take a look at what I mentioned just a few minutes ago, and that is the problem that Jeff and Kenny had during happy hour yesterday.
Watch as they come off turn 2. They're just practicing, but Gordon gets the car about 30
Ooh,
degrees
boy.
sideways, touches
That
the
almost
left rear
wiped it
tire
out.
of Schrader's car. Schrader, meanwhile, brushed the wall when they came off the corner.
Very rare to get
6
practice
inches
footage
from
back then.
disaster for both those
Like, it would be really cool to, if they had that, but a lot of times you'd only see practice highlights when you're actually watching the race or one of these shows like RPM Tonight. Up until like 2001. Oh, Adam Lemery's, yeah, very excited about Juan Montoya coming back. I think it's fantastic, especially for Watkins Glen. He'll be one to watch. I really enjoyed Montoya in the Cup Series, and somebody else pointed this out earlier today, saying that we were lucky to have him, and I think that's a fantastic way to put it. Yeah, we were. To get some international talent in the sport, see what they can do. Again, I mean, getting new drivers or people from other disciplines involved or interested in the sport, that's what you want. You want to have that, and they can actually, if you're able to compete, if you're able to, win as Montoya was, then all the more power to you.
Just another step towards helping to spoil Jeff Gordon's efforts in trying to win the championship last year. There they come up with Mike Dillon. Mike has gotten up in the groove.
Ooh, Petty's car still punched pretty good from that early wreck. How much traffic these guys have to thread through. 78 laps down for Mike Dillon. So, but he only has to complete about 6 laps in order to get around Rusty. He's pretty much probably around Rusty right now.
17th position, Jeff Bodine goes a lap down.
Well, obviously they got the problem. Pit stop, huh?
Looks like they do have the car in pretty good shape. And the guy who just dominated the first segment, right now he's gaining a little bit.
Yeah, Shane Van Gisbergen and Montoya at the Glen. Yep. And hopefully they can share some space on the track. Oh, 46 car having problems. Yeah, third, Zapata's car really struggled.
There's the 99 Jeff Burton, Bill Weber.
Scaling back to 2 cars is the only real option.
Definitely driving that car, but Buddy Parrott is coaching him from the sidelines. He was just 3 laps into the run on those new tires when Buddy Parrott told him, "Now you take care of those tires." 1 second later, Todd Parrott was on the radio to Dale Jarrett. Same thing. Take care of those tires. Like father, like son. These guys know you can't win the race after just 88 or 89 laps. It's 500 miles here at Darlington. You want to be on the lead lap and then make your run late in the race.
Terry Labonte moves around Hut Strickland. Takes over the 9th position.
Yep, you're right, ME262. I think that was the one where, yeah, you had, Skinner, I believe, coming in to drive for Earnhardt in the Brickyard. That was after that savage wreck he had at Talladega. And then Earnhardt got back in the car and won the pole at Watkins Glen. Labor Day at Darlington could be miserable. I hear you there, Brian. Especially during the day. I mean, that's... I can't imagine. There's some days, some of the days, like coming out there for practice, say 100% chance of rain, get over there, and it's just that muggy out there. Ugh. Hottest I've ever been at a racetrack, going to Bristol in 2007. That first race on the new surface, everybody was watching the Weather Channel. It's like college football season, they're close to it, and everybody's watching the Weather Channel. It's like, that's not a good sign. Oh, the 98 to 99 scheme, Eric Banton, for sure. The white nose on the car. I usually like white accents on cars. It makes it look really cool if it's not just an unsponsored car. But the 98-99 version where it's all blue with the rainbow swoop, that's cool. And, of course, I like Kenny Irwin's version better than either of them. The 2000 version was just perfect, and it's just sad what happened. It hurts so good pole, yep. Great story about that. I love the story. What was it, on Junior's podcast? They talk about printing the T-shirts up really quick that weekend. There's Dolan back.
Car being pushed behind the wall, so another disappointing outing for the first are shown out of competition. The 96 car of Todd Bodine and the 2 car is also...
It's amazing Todd was eliminated in that wreck, although he had a pretty hard hit, too. I mean, I know he ducked behind the wall before the Rusty even did.
And the Mountain Dew Southern 500 continuing here with him leading by a second over Dale Jarrett.
Yeah, it is ASMR. That's exactly the one. We did see that at the start.
97 laps completed here at Darlington Raceway in South Carolina, and Jeff Gordon leads the Mountain Dew Southern 500. Join ESPN tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern for NFL Prime Monday. 90 minutes of the most informative news, results, and injury reports from week
Yeah, I didn't count on that graphic fitting so perfectly next to the chat box.
Switch over to ABC for Monday Night Football, live at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. The game features the Chicago
Bears, Packers, who you got?
Green Bay Packers.
Back when Monday Night Football was special.
Heard his conversation with Ray Evernham before his pit stop. Jeff was complaining that the car was loose. Now let's also check the conversation between
Best year for paint scheme was 2001 to 2004. I'd include 2000 in that. 2000 had some really good ones.
The way this car is handling this in our NASCAR Spotlight.
4,200 guiding, Dave. Nice and easy, guys. 4 tires, 1 in the Panther. 4 tires, 1 in the Panther.
Packers win the Super Bowl.
Okay, it's going to start a little tighter now, so don't burn the right rear off trying to get her to turn.
Oh, I agree, Kara. 1736. Comfy level of the ESPN graphics in this era is 10 out of 10. Absolutely.
10-4, bud. The grill screens are clogging up. That's all it is. The grill screens are clogging. Be real easy on them tires, Jeff. You're leading the race. You're the leader right now. Be easy on them tires.
I like how Evernham always wore that Ingersoll Rand hat.
4,200, that's pit road speed in water's second gear. That would be 55 miles per hour. 1 in the Panther car. That's 1 down on the rear sway bar. And what else did he say?
Well, he said the temperature of the water was 205, I believe, and then he said 240. That didn't mean that the water was going from 205 to 240. That was the oil temperature that was at 240.
Jeff Gordon, second in the point standings coming in.
Packers won that game 38-24 at Lambeau Field there.
8 wins. But on the other hand,
According to Googling it there.
As a matter of fact,
Week 1 of Monday Night Football.
the top 5, and all of them have been 21st or worst, and included in those 2 DNFs.
Oh, we're ready.
The 4 car is having a problem. Sterling.
I hate that the Bills don't have Stephon Diggs anymore, but
Bob Sterling said the car had a little bit of a vibration, and a moment ago he radiated that something in the engine, something inside. Then he radiated back to the engine builder and said, apparently we have dropped the valve. And now Sterling just said, I got to get the pit road. It's getting worse and worse. It may be getting ready to blow.
oh man, Marlin his luck just went away in '97. It was a real rough deal before he went over to Sabatas.
11 points positions lower now than he was at this time last year.
Yeah, running that paint scheme.
Drive this car next year. It was announced here on Friday that Bobby Hamilton will move into Chevrolet.
Ugh, look at all the smoke coming out. Yikes.
The leader, Jeff Gordon, continues to work traffic out there.
That was 98 Chuff Productions. That was Gordon's 13-win season. I think he won a good amount in this season, though, too. He was definitely on the upswing early in his career, for sure. There's Lance Hooper again.
We have had 5 leaders so far this afternoon. 4 lead changes. Bill Elliott has led the one.
Dalton Reed, he was Dad's favorite driver. Yeah, Lasbro's favorite driver, too.
Jeff has led 25. Michael Waltrip led 2, and Bobby Labonte led 1. Another Napa Field summary, showing you where everybody was running last lap.
And you saw on the rundown, Bill Elliott was a 4th place car. He is 7.5 seconds behind the leader. There he comes off the corner. Trying to put a lap on that paw print on the hood of the MBNA car. That's a Clemson paw print. Clemson University here in South Carolina.
Let's see.
Good run.
I had to see if Lance Hooper ever got a diecast release. He did in the Busch Series, looks like.
There's a very
know, it's like maybe in the truck series. Mostly Busch series. These are Lance Snacks cars. This is a different deal.
16 of Ted Mustang.
And Michael Walton, both those cars running in 6th and 7th spot.
I like the through the field here. I like especially how bleached the noses the cars get here after a while.
There's Michael Waltrip, and we'll go inside the Citgo Ford.
He's going down the front stretch now. By the start finish line, he was going down in turn 1, and he'll turn that baby in the corner. And he will go up, drift up the racetrack a little bit.
Get all the wheel.
Comes off of turn 4. And on the back stretch.
I like how Citgo anticipated turning the logo upside down on the left side of the wheel, or the right side of the wheel, so you can actually see it. Brilliant. Brilliant branding. Oh, is that Hooper? No, it's Purvis. Oh, I think Hooper's limping away, too.
Ernie Irvin and Bobby Labonte, they were just about to go a lap down. Jeff Gordon was right on their bumper. Now they'll get to come all the way around the racetrack. Make that up. Make up a mile.
Yeah, we could do Busch races as well, Shoku Tatsumi.
About 8 of the caution flag. What a big break.
Down the road here.
Second caution of the afternoon, and comes out on lap number 109. Jeff Purvis scraping the wall
You know,
in turn number 4.
prioritizing NASCAR Classics at the moment, since that mostly is Cup races. But yeah. Yeah, some reason the in-cars do look better back then, Brian. You're right.
Second time in the Mountain Dew Southern 500, and Ernie
Oh!
showing significant damage, and he was
How on earth did he wreck?
Now, they told me that Jeff Purvis, who hit the wall earlier,
Oh,
on
no.
the pit road, and hit off the racetrack on the pit road in front of Ernie Irvin. Ernie had to take evasive action on that gravel, and Ned and I talked about that sand.
Oh,
Right
my
there.
goodness.
He spun the Howland Texaco Ford, backed it in the fence, also hit it with the nose of the car. We can see heavy damage to the car.
I mean, Irvine just a hapless victim there. Had a great car in this race.
Coming out now becomes somewhat of a nightmare. They began to beat and bang in the right front fender, the right rear, the left rear is banged in, the left front. Folks, the driver-
Man, what a hit. He must have just stove that thing in
All 4 corners
pretty hard.
are being banged up. 4 tires flat. They changed the right side tires. And now they'll have to
Yeah, what happened to Ernie? I'm with you. Hopefully they saw a replay, but they say it's something to do with Purvis. Purvis getting to pit road and forced to evasive maneuver and just wrecked the thing.
The left front fender. They already had the left rear tire on, having full of fuel. They're looking now, trying to survey damage in the right rear of the car. Having trouble getting the left front tire on. They said, Ernie, cut the wheel to the left. Cut it to the left. And what it is the fender is buckled in. They can't get the tire up on the wheel. They throw the sledgehammer down. They said, turn it more and more left, more left. Now he turns it to get the tire and wheel on. They're saying, here comes
Oh, I can't believe he's still running after hitting the wall that hard. That nose is completely bent out of shape. See if we get a replay here. Yeah, shame for Irvin. He was fun to watch. He really was.
Commercial break. Let's take a look at what happened.
See Jeff Gordon coming in the pits.
Oh, there's Purvis, I think, on the apron.
The 99 of Jeff Gordon. I'm sure all these cars will change. 4 tires.
Did he wreck into the inside wall? Wonder.
Going around to the left side. Meanwhile, Dale Jarrett's team going around the left side. Also, Jeff Gordon's team. Left side's up on Burton.
Oh, there's the smoke back there.
Stop is finished. Once again, some trouble on the rear tire. Dale Jarrett is moving. Jeff Gordon is moving. And Jeff was pitted farther down towards turn 1. As a result, he beat him out. And Bill Elliott will come out in second spot. Jerry Bunch.
all right, the car number 24. They are clocked that pit stop, guys. It's
Yeah, you're right. Radiator should have been busted with that damage.
To the last stop before they put an extra round in the Panhard bar. And the most important thing Ray said to Jeff was, Ray, Jeff, stay put. We have got to get that grill clean. Watch the water temperature. By the way, they're going to bring the 28 car back down pit road and hold him a lap.
Favorite NASCAR game? You know, I'm not as well versed in all of them, but I was much more into NASCAR Racing 99 edition, Sierra Papyrus. I haven't played more of the more recent ones. I played that entirely too much in high school. In fact, if you're in my Patreon, if you don't mind me including this, yeah, you can download some of the car sets I used from then. Actually, I made my own 1991 car set and updated paint schemes and so forth from that year. That'd be patreon.com/lastcaronbrock.
Jimmy Spencer was in for a 4-tire change. No adjustments other than to pull a little tape.
Nope, Jude Fernandez still has the backstretch pits, which is interesting.
Pitting on the backstretch. Well, Spencer's crew got him in and out in just under 18 seconds flat, about 17.9. He came in running 5th. He went out running 6th. Let's go back to the front stretch and Dr. Jerry Punch.
Hey, good run for
Ernie
Spencer.
Irvin back on pit road, not by choice. He had to come back in, obviously, for repairs, but NASCAR brought him back in. They're going to hold him a lap here in the pits. He lost 1 lap on that spin up there when the car number 12 pulled in front of him, and now he'll lose the 2nd lap in the pits here under caution at Darlington. We are under caution here at the track. Too tough to take.
Man, that car is just so messed up.
Mountain Dew 7500. We'll be right back.
Just as you rejoin us, the green flag comes out. We're back to racing at the Mountain Dew Southern 500 on lap
Oh,
1.
yeah, Brian, you're right. That is how we met. Yeah, I was doing paint schemes from that, and that was yeah, we were talking about that back then. Gosh, man. Yep. That and the J.D. McDuffie paint schemes in particular.
Let's see if Bill Elliott can get that.
Oh, definitely appreciate it.
On in the race. After trying to chase down Jim Gordon.
Oh man, crushed tires just tearing around there.
He's working on him.
Yeah, he is.
There's 12 cars on the lead lap.
$2 million drivers right here. Bill won it at 85, and Gordon wants to win it this year.
If he pulled Elliott by, yeah, he's going to let him go. He's not going to bite him. Take a chance.
Nope, tried the crossover. Ooh, not quite.
So we have Ford against Chevy after more than 15 races here in the 19th.
Yeah, I guess we don't get a replay of that wreck. At least not in this, yeah.
Oldsmobile has won once.
Somebody else on the apron.
Jerry trying to get by.
Ooh, boy, just threading the needle past Purvis.
Go down in 1. They get awfully close together.
Boy, Jarrett got up there real quick. I almost didn't see him catch up to Gordon.
Jeff Gordon will let him sort things out here.
Yeah, DJ Joe's just a master of these high prestige races. I don't know how he managed that. Brickyard, Darlington, Daytona.
But if you don't,
Jeff Burton once again is on the move. He's up to 4th spot.
I mean, Darlington is an absolutely, must visit. I mean, Brian's right about the weather being pretty rough there on Labor Day weekend, but it's such a cool place to visit. I mean, oh, Purvis got the wall again.
And we got several cars behind.
Oh, you can hear the tire squeal.
each other.
Yikes. Oh, who tore it up there? Craven and you said Grissom.
And John
Oh, Andretti. Oh, goodness.
major damage
Wow.
to his RCA car.
Look at that.
You're right. Very serious damage to the RCA car.
all sides.
See, again, modern cars just don't wreck like that. Look at that. I mean, when everything is
Again, the caution
custom-made
comes out here
metal
for the third
panels.
time this afternoon.
just
Still running,
crazy.
John?
Look at that.
Tony Furr asking John.
Still running?
Not really.
I don't think so.
No.
I
It
don't
looks
think
like a
so, John.
modified.
Stop. That thing hit pretty hard in the front.
Here's what started it. Here's Jeff Purvis up in the very corner. Let's go down the corner. He's going to go up and hit the wall, into the wall, as the cars behind him start slowing down and checking up because of the caution flag. Then when the crash really starts.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, man.
That's Andretti up against the wall.
Steve Grissom,
Ray
yep.
Blue is inside and Steve Grissom behind. And this should be exciting on board with Ricky.
Ooh, just completely caught off guard. Oh, man. The sound of
That
that.
guy had a tough year this year. Ricky Craven.
He sure has. John Kernan.
Ricky Craven is in a lot of sheet metal damage on the left side. This is not the first time this year they're actually having problems getting the car, the jack under the car. Not the first time that this car's been involved in a crash. Remember in Atlanta, that hard.
I think he's still pegging the throttle.
This is that car. And now the left side's changed, and they'll be sending it back out shortly. Let's go to Dr. Jerry Punch.
Mark Martin
And
had
there's a lot
been
of
in
damage.
twice on the previous caution. They had the second time to come in to put a rubber in the right front. He said the car is so very loose he couldn't drive it. He came back in just now. They're going to make an adjustment in the rubber in the right front. They put 3
Yeah, Chuff Productions are right. Can you believe that? Yeah, I mean, you get that much damage, like, can it still roll? It's like, kinda.
Trying to get the car tightened up and trying to place a rubber that's in the interstitial, the space of the spring, the right front spring. As a spotter now watching for the pace car.
The spring rubbers, pulling those out.
Pit road, and while you're watching Mark Martin, I might mention that the 18 car also made 2 pit stops on the previous stop. They made a sweep adjustment in the shock absorbers because Bobby Labonte's car would not turn, and then they spilled water on the radio. As the car number 6 is down and away, the 18 car should be coming back in, and what we're talking about with Bobby Labonte is they made a sweep adjustment on the shock absorber, and they spilled water on the radio, so the radio is stuck open, and they can hear Bobby, but he cannot hear them. In other words, he has no spotter. So when the caution came out, they were jumping up and down on the pit wall trying to get Bobby's attention, so possibly he would slow down prior to getting over to turn 1 and 2. Now he brings the pole-sitting Interstate Batteries Pontiac back on the pit road, and they go to work on the radio. He said this happened about 3 or 4 races ago. When you spill water in the radio, suddenly it just short circuits the radio where you can hear the driver, but he can't hear them. But about 20 or 30 minutes later, when it dries out, the radio works fine. They couldn't afford to Darlington to take that chance, so they have brought a different radio in to try to strap it in as you watch Bobby Labonte. And then once again, Mark Martin will come back in trying somehow to correct the problem of the car is being so very, very loose.
So we're continuing on the Valvoline Ford, and those spotters are the eyes of the race driver. And boy, when you can't hear them, you know how desperately you need them when there is action on the racetrack that you just can't see in front of you. They're located up above us here at Darlington Raceway, keeping an eye on the racetrack and telling their driver what's going on out there. We'll be back in just a moment. Under caution here at Darlington, John Kernan standing by with John Andretti.
And Bob, the good news is John is okay, but they just towed his car back to the garage area. It's pretty well beat up. John, what happened?
Well, the guy got up in the wall and going into turn 1, and 3 guys were in front of me, and they slowed down. I didn't know it, and I just I clipped the edge of the 25 car and got him around, and then I got hit in the back and hit the wall. And but I do want to say something. RCA executive was injured in a car accident, he and his family. And
Oh, goodness.
we wish Jeff Chapman, Michelle, and Madeline and Mallory all the best, you know, to get well. They're all pretty seriously hurt, and our best wishes and prayers go out to them.
And so do ours. Let's go to Dr. Jerry Punch.
Wow.
All right, Mark Martin has been on and off pit road 3 different times during this caution flight. Let me show you why. What I'm holding in my hand here is a rubber spacer. They are cut in thirds. Ordinarily, they're a complete circle. This is 1/3 of the circle. They got 2/3 of this rubber circle in the right front. This final third, they pushed and beat and banged with a hammer and could not get it in. They wanted all 3 parts in the right front to try to stiffen the right front spring, tighten the left rear of the car so the car would actually be tighter going in the corner. Mark complained the car was loose. He was slipping and sliding, entering 1 and entering 3. Maybe 2/3 will be enough.
Getting set to go back to green here at Darlington, and there isn't anybody whose heart isn't a little sad today because of the tragedy that occurred last evening that took the life of Lady Di.
Oh, there we go. Goodness.
This wall here along the front stretch right next to the Tide crew has already indicated that they are in memory of Lady Di.
That's the most tragic thing I've heard in a long, long time.
I'll tell you, it is.
Okay, we're ready to go racing again.
There you go. Wow, I don't remember they did that.
Elliott leading. Jarrett
Yeah, it was that
second,
weekend.
third,
Unreal.
fourth, and
Unreal.
Jimmy Spencer
Great,
is
great,
in
great, great, great.
position. Green comes out at the conclusion of 1 up to 26.
There's Jeff Burton trying to get alongside Jeff Gordon, and he will take the spot away.
Wow.
He's in the third. Spencer's right behind Gordon, and Gordon lost a little bit of his momentum.
Indeed, Jimmy Spencer goes to the fourth spot. Jeff Gordon in fifth.
Yeah, a lot of cases we've seen a driver go in under another one and slide up the track there, another driver go back by him. Jeff Gordon didn't want to risk anything there. He said, okay, he's not him, but let him pass.
All righty.
Knows that patience is the key.
That's right. He can lose a few battles right now as long as he wins the war. That's what he's here for.
There you see first and second.
Oh, it does have September Richmond on here. Okay.
Pennzoil Copter Cam hovering high overhead Darlington Raceway.
Why did I not see it there earlier? That's bizarre.
It's also very early in the race. Comparatively, we've only completed 127 of the 367 laps, so we've still got quite a ways to go to halfway.
Yeah, there's a lot of racing to be done here yet.
It's a very warm, humid day here in Darlington, South Carolina.
Matter of fact, we had a few sprinkles about an hour before the race started. The skies were rather cloudy and the humidity was way, way up there. Now the skies have become partly sunny, but the temperature is high and so
Just checking something here.
Wouldn't be Darlington in September.
Okay, I wouldn't think that they would skip this one. I probably didn't see it because I had opened that race.
having a good run here in the early going. He's in sixth position.
It's amazing to still think this is the early going at Darlington, given just how long the race is.
But Michael's having a good day so far. Meanwhile, up front, the lead heats up. The battle for the lead. Jared closing in on Bill Elliott.
But Elliott has that momentum on the top side.
Yeah, it's a higher line there than this Dale Jarrett through turns 3 and 4.
Alrighty. Don't mean to be perfectly silent on here for this stretch of the race. I just have something I wanted to post on social media here, so we're going to get this shared in just a moment.
See what Dale's talking about. When we go down the corner, we'll see that Elliott drifts up the racetrack, and Jarrett dives down the inside. Meanwhile, Hutch Strickland goes by Michael Walker, takes 6th spot.
But again, turn high, Bill Elliott has the momentum, and he just drives right on the way.
And look at the speeds versus what we saw back about 50, 60 laps ago. 160 miles an hour for the leader. And we were seeing back speeds of 153, 154 at the end of the run. And that's exactly what we'll see at the end of this run.
Alrighty. That's saved? Okay, cool. Here we go.
Victory lane of the NASCAR Winston Cup race was here. This race.
What you see there is every car on the lead lap. That is the first 12 cars. Around to race 13, he is the first car 1 lap down.
Jeff Gordon had the fastest speed. Now give it to Terry Labonte.
Terry Labonte came in and put on 4 tires during the
Dale Jarrett taking it
Okay, there we go. Pin that. There we go. Oh, Skinner. Yikes. What a hit. Man, he has cleaned that thing out. Wow.
That's the inside wall. There we see Mike Skinner sitting there talking to the crew, telling them what happened.
Doing the gesture like, what the heck?
On the racetrack, big piece of metal laying just before you get to the start finish.
For those of you, while we have this opportunity under caution here, I put up a poll for next Friday. We're not going to do one on Tuesday. We'll do just one next week on Friday. Because there's no race activity at Richmond, I thought it'd be cool to do a Golden Era Richmond race on the current surface. Give us some kind of frame of reference for the weekend. A good way to wrap up the off weekends here. Oh boy, just got hooked there.
Directly into the fence, Ned. Watch.
Yeah, he's going to hit it head on. Look at
Oh my goodness. So we're looking at 98, 99, and 2000. All 6 races are on the NASCAR Classics page, so we should be okay with that. But we'll, yeah, whichever one you want, we'll do that. Which I'm going to take the top winning spring race, top winning fall race. We'll do a second poll between those, and then whatever wins that will be one we'll do for the stream. So definitely check out the Twitter post in the pinned post there, and we'll do the poll on that.
Well, other than peeling away the windshield and cleaning the front grill, they're not going to make any difference at all on the Donald Ford 4 tires. Back to you, Bill. Left front lug nut, left front lug nut. He's down on the one. Here's Gordon down. Jarrett down. It'll be Elliott, then Gordon. Back to turn 1.
Jimmy Spencer's pick.
Jimmy Spencer has moved up to the 4th position. Now he's pitting here on the backstretch. It'll be a 4-tire change. He's asked the crew.
I think he gave it a day on the pole there, too, so that should be fine. Then they'll give enough time to set up the other one. Spencer with a fine run in this one.
But he did lose several positions.
That's the disadvantage we keep talking about by the back pit. If guys on the front finish your pit stop, they go back on the racetrack and Spencer.
Yeah, they really are good quality. Fantastic quality. I mean, it's like watching it live.
Spencer, Mike Skinner, I should say, got out of the car and walked to the ambulance. He appears to be okay. High overhead, Darlington Raceway, South Carolina gives you an idea of indeed this racetrack is egg-shaped.
Oh, thank you, SEC 1972. I'm glad you're enjoying the audio book. Thank you for picking that up. I actually recorded that during the last Olympic break we had. So, puts in perspective how long that's been in the works. Oh, my goodness. Just knocked that car out. My goodness.
And just watch how swiftly that car
still crossed the stripe, so got another lap completed.
Mark Martin looking back at this. Watch Skinner just turn and boom down on the inside wall. Folks, he had to be running, I'd say 140 miles.
Yes, NASCAR Classics is, I mean, easily one of the best things that the sport and the people in charge of the video content have ever done. I mean, it's a fantastic resource. You can see things so much clearer. You can see Irvin's car still on pit road as Skinner's car gets towed here.
And again, just as you rejoin us, the green flag comes out. We go back to racing. Ted Musgrave did not make a pit stop, is the leader at the moment.
Oh, you got Mayfield up there.
Musgrave has about 15 laps on his tires, Bob. It's not going to stick in the turn.
Yeah, Elliott's going to really just eat him up here.
Exactly right, and they said only 10 laps had gone by, so James Inch decided to leave him out there. Ted has fallen back to third.
Yes, they do. Desert Fox, thanks for reminding me. Yep, NASCAR Classics is a YouTube channel as well. Make sure you give them a subscribe as well, for sure. Fantastic video they do there. Great work. I mean, it just makes these so much more enjoyable to be able to see them as they were back then.
Well, before the caution came out, these were battling for the lead. Same way they are there right now. And this time they got Jim.
Look at that camera angle. Oh my goodness. What a thrill. I mean, this shows better than any word or article can how fantastic these old broadcasts were. It's not just the racing. It's definitely part of it, and the personalities and the cars and the paint schemes, but also how well all of that is presented. It's just fantastic.
Still very much in contention. He's running in 5th position at the moment.
Hey there, Tim. Thank you for tuning in.
Jimmy Spencer is another driver on the move here. He's moving past Terry Labonte and going into 10th.
Well, we talked about the number of spots he lost to that pit stop, pitting on the backstretch, but he's picking them back up now.
Jeff Gordon and Ted Musgrave running side to side there. The Roush teammates as Gordon goes by Musgrave, and so does Jeff Gordon.
So move Jeff Gordon down to the 4th spot.
Jerry can update us now on the pit stops. Jerry?
Well, guys coming in the pits, I'm not going to talk about pit stops exactly, guys, but I'm going to comment on the fact that during these pit stops, a lot of drivers, you'd be surprised how fast word spreads. The drivers heard that Dale Earnhardt was not responsive to the crew during the parade lap and hit the wall in lap 1, and then, very uncharacteristically, was taken out of the race car in an ambulance and taken away. So many drivers during that last caution were asking their crew chiefs, how is Dale Earnhardt? Please find out how Dale Earnhardt is. Even though he beat him like a drum for many years as a Winston Cup champion after champion, a lot of these guys, they're concerned about this. During the caution,
that really says something.
they were very concerned about their colleague, Dale Earnhart.
Everybody being very concerned about Earnhardt, even in the middle of a race, even in the middle of a prestigious crown jewel race they tried to win.
With Dale Earnhardt's teammate Mike Skinner just had that very hard crash out there on the racetrack. He's been checked out in the infield care center. He is okay. Mike, that had to be a very scary ride. Just listening to it on my headset, it sounded scary to me.
I can't hear what you're saying, but we got tagged from behind over there, and Lowe Chevrolet spun around and hit the wall pretty good lick. I don't think they'll be able to get it back out there. I hate it for
Thank you, Tim. Thank you for tuning in.
TD, everybody associated with the car. I hate this team. It's 2 weeks in a row that
Yeah, the dynamic angles. I'm with you, Chuck. It does seem like, yeah, more breathing room, or they're more, just more interesting to look at.
NASCAR can see what's going on, and maybe they can do something about it.
Let's go back upstairs.
And we also want to say hi to Mike's wife, Beth, who was out of the hospital yesterday after breaking her cheekbone.
Mike Skinner signed a contract with Richard Childress for the next 2 years.
Well, here are more Roush teammates. We saw Jeff Burton running with Ted Musgrave while Martin has come up on him.
Yeah, Musgrave and Michael Waltrip looking really good in this. And Spencer.
This is from Mark.
I mean, you recall in 500 days, Spencer had a good run in the 2001 spring race at Darlington.
Mark go by on the outside. Blake's been there in the 9 car. Blake is 2 laps down.
Blake trying to hang in there with no sponsorship on the former Spam car.
And his crew is working behind the pit wall to try and get his car get him back out there. Ricky, what exactly is wrong with the car?
We just got beat up when we got run over, and we had at least the third best Chevrolet today, but I didn't do a very good job qualifying, so we paid the price.
Well, Ricky Craven's crew is...
Craven not happy. Can't blame him.
He'll be getting back into the car and heading back out onto the racetrack, and you can see what kind of move he is in right now.
I mean, it's got to be so difficult. I mean, you know, talking to people that finish last in races is one thing, but I mean, when you're also talking about everybody else that's in the garage area there, and they're not happy, and there's a lot at stake, and a race like this, I mean, it can be real challenging. The ESPN crew here just does a fantastic job. Oh, that's awesome. People talk about what diecast you have from there. 98 Southern 500 win, yep.
Included in that group is the 11 car that you're seeing in the shot.
The black window bank there, too. Very cool. Look how much these cars hop, like down the back straightaway there. There's just so many humps down that straightaway there, and the cars just all ride over it there like a city street.
Musgrave, he'll take this up 6 spots, sorry.
And here comes Spencer, also moving around.
There we go. Gonna stick his nose in there.
Right up on Michael Walker. Spencer's got a good race car.
Yes, he does.
And he's trying to get alongside Michael Walker. Been coming off turn 4. He's got momentum. He'll take that spot away.
6th position now for Jimmy Spencer. And there is Terry Labonte. So it's pretty obvious that those old tires are not going to do the trick for Ted Musgrave.
I'm sure Ted's thinking right now, man, I wish we could have those tires on this thing. It was nice to lead this race and get those 5 bonus points, but the way this car feels right now, I'd sure like to have some new tires.
Up front it is Bill Elliott leading just a few car lengths with Jeff Burton 4th and...
Oh, look at that. Hut Strickland still in the top 10 here. Stavola brothers making things happen.
Mile per hour faster than the second place car, about a half mile per hour faster than the leader.
Somebody else leaving pit road.
Was about 3
Oops, is that Craven on the apron? I thought Craven was done.
Spending some time with us here on Labor Day weekend. It's a tradition that's been going on since 1950. ESPN Speed World coverage of the Mountain Dew Southern 500 from Darlington, being brought to you by the legendary Firebird Trans Am from Pontiac.
Pontiac.
By MasterCard. MasterCard, the official card of NASCAR. By Miller Genuine Draft, who reminds you it's time for a good old macro brew. And by Daytona USA, the ultimate motorsports attraction. 153 laps completed out of 367 in the Mountain Dew Southern 500. We'll be right back.
Man, what a gauntlet.
Awesome Bill.
I mean, regardless of style of car or anything, just it's staggering how long the Southern 500 is. It's right up there with the 600. I mean, it's one thing to run 500-mile races at these other tracks or at a super speedway, but then to run it here, or just how abrasive it is, how much tire fall off there is, and how much attrition there is. You know, makes a huge difference.
And we see that said is faster than the leader Elliott. Started at 1.8 seconds behind, finished 1.1 seconds behind. And now it's probably even closer than that as he stalks.
Yeah, Ford definitely did come out to play. Big teams and small teams, both pretty fast.
This spot by Michael Walton, by Cherry Labonte, by Mark Martin.
5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th right there. It's Mark Martin, who is kind of trailing back a little bit. Looking back from Michael Walton's car to Terry Labonte.
Yep, test of skill and machine, Shoku, exactly.
Walton got way up high, and Jimmy Spencer goes way down low and passes Dick Trickle.
Looks like he pulled up behind the 90 car, got went up the to catch it. Spencer just turned left, went under the Holly Myers car. Oh, this time.
Ooh, Spencer way loose. Oh, it's a feeding frenzy now.
Can't do that going into this turn.
Okay, they figured that out.
Mark Martin a moment ago, he was leading this group when they came up behind him. He just said, go ahead, guys.
And Jerry has more on the 6 car.
Remember I showed you the rubber spacer, the third part of the circle they were trying to get into right front? Well, they definitely needed it because Mark said the car has just gotten very, very bad loose. He can't drive it in the corner very hard. The car just slides sideways. He has to turn the wheel to the right and catch it. And here at Darlington, there's not a lot of room to go to the right when you enter the corner. Now, that's the problem he's having.
Aubrey, yeah, I see your comment there. 4-hour drive back home after sitting in the sun in the Southern 500. Oh man, that's doing it hard.
Well, we're even worse now, and it's getting worse lap by lap. Race in its cars are burning the right rear tire off, trying to stay up with those 4.
Well, he's led 44 laps here this afternoon. Has been one of 6 leaders. Jeff Gordon is.
And Spencer, evidently, either something's wrong with the car, he goes the car sideways off the corner, he loses 2 spots. He might have done the same thing that Ray Evernham, Jerry talking about Ray Evernham on Jeff Gordon's car. He might have burnt that right rear off coming up through there.
How about it, John Kernan?
And Martin setting him up.
That's the problem that Jimmy just radioed in and said the car has gotten very, very loose. Remember that last pit stop, they took a half a round to wedge out. It'll go way high there. So Spencer telling his team that the car is very, very loose. They tell them just to hang on. Next pit stop, they'll fix it.
A few laps ago, Hutch Strickland was running up front, and watch as he goes to the corner, and the 18 car, Bobby Labonte, pulls up right behind him. And touch him right there and gets the car.
Oh, just routed him out of the way, but didn't wreck him.
This is coming off turn 2, and he lost 3 or 4 spots. He's worked his way back now to he's back to the 12th spot.
Yeah, he's the last car on the lead lap.
There's Kenny Wallace. We haven't seen much of him today.
Hutch Strickland being followed by
Square D Philbar car. Nice large italic numbers again.
22 seconds behind the leader.
Very recognizable paint scheme.
The leaders are not too far behind him.
Haven't had too many throwbacks. Oh, hang on. Strickland and Board.
Got Strickland.
Got 2 spots behind us. We're going to have to move along if we can.
I was about to say, I haven't seen many throwbacks to the Square D car. At least I don't think so.
Well, before that, Hudd had told his
Seen some of
crew
Hamilton's
chief
trucks.
he was tight in turn 2 and loose.
Oh,
but
college
turn
football
4,
logo.
so his car was not handling as
Is that
well as they
Clemson?
had hoped.
I try to recognize.
Now he's going to have some other problems.
Oop, debris there.
Fifth caution of the race comes out on lap 168.
Jeff Gordon going by Jim Gordon.
Circuit City, where service is state of the art.
More than a half lap. Not quite a half lap, I should say.
And so it will allow Jeff and
Despite the wreck at the beginning and what happened with Earnhardt, it's been a pretty clean race. Reminds me of the 98 one. I remember 98 Southern 500 had maybe like 1 or 2 cautions in it. And Gordon it was just brutal. Mark Martin lost an engine that pretty much, along with the Daytona race we recently saw, pretty much cost him a good shot at the championship.
Had been reported that his car was very loose. Look how high he goes up in the turn. Kenny Wallace goes on.
It is
the outside
Clemson.
point,
Okay,
too.
good.
Look here.
I don't know much about college football, but I'm trying to pick up some of it.
Down on the inside. Let's see if he makes that pass.
Ooh, he just tipped him. Oh, and Irvin got in a Ward. Wow. Or I guess it's Cope that year. Yeah, Irvin was 98 running that car.
Down to Bill Weber.
Well, Hud Strickland is here right now. He pitted early before the pits were open, and now the leaders are on pit road. They have to dodge Hud pulling out. Jared is in. He goes around to the right side. He'll get 4 tires.
Andrew, I feel you on that. I saw a Kevin LePage FamilyClick.com thing. I think LePage had signed that. It was kind of dusty and kind of wore out, but I regret not picking that up. It's pretty cool though.
Left side tires going on. Meanwhile, also a major adjustment on Mark Martin's car further up pit road.
Oh yeah, Gordon won 2007. That was fantastic. The overheating car. It's a great tribute to Randy Dorton, I felt.
Has 21-26, all head in line after turn 1. Let's go to John Crow.
Jimmy Spencer is in once again, pitting on the backstretch. We'll see if they can have a quick pit stop and maybe not lose.
Yeah, clear that rubber off that grill. There you go.
Top 5, 4 tire change. They took a half pound of air out of the right rear, trying to tighten the car up. Left side's coming off, going on.
That is a great paint scheme. I got to die cast that somewhere.
On the backstretch, and now Spencer slowly.
He said there's not much point because I'm going back to the level spot.
Yep.
He might get out in front of Ted Musgrave. I don't know if he, no, he didn't. Musgrave was lingered a little bit behind the others that pitted on the front stretch.
Yeah, it's amazing how some of the sponsor combinations made sense. I mean, you're right, Jude Fernandez, McDonald's and Reese's, and then you got this one where you got Camel cigarettes and then Zippo lighters. It's perfect. Just markets itself.
Back in just a moment.
It's not quite the Ken Schrader when he had Little Debbie's and the Air Force as sponsors. That's one of my favorite.
Track facts are brought to you by Quaker State. The quality your car deserves.
The modern Quaker State
The gentleman
track
looking
fact
right
logo.
there is Terry Satchel. He is a bachelor in mechanical engineering. That's his education degree. For 21 years, he was a chassis design engineer for General Motors. He left GM and went to work for Roger Penske, where as an engineer, he won back-to-back Indy 500s with Emerson Fittipaldi and Al Unser Jr. Today,
Oh, wow.
he works with Andy Petrie. He is the chief engineer for Kenny Schrader. Why a mechanical engineer in NASCAR? Well, let me show you. Here's what Terry Satchel can do. This is what's called a deterioration curve. For you engineering buffs, you know what I'm talking about. This 30, 31, 32, that's laps, that's seconds per lap. This is the number of laps, 0 to 60. Every time they change tires and come in, they plot the lap times. Lap 5, lap 10, lap 15, lap 20. You see how the times get slower
Oh,
and
this is
slower and slower?
interesting.
That's the slope of the curve. That's how the tires begin to go away and then slow down here at Darlington. Now, the average is 0.037 seconds per lap. That's the average slope if you slow down. If you flatten the slope down and slow down less, you stay more consistent on a longer run. If you start making the slope steeper, it means you've got a problem with the car. You need to pit earlier. That's the average, 0.037 seconds a lap.
Oh, that's
40
it.
60 laps means over a period of one fuel stop, you'll lose almost 2 seconds during the run. That's why mechanical engineering, very useful here in NASCAR.
Boy, high-tech stuff, huh?
Oh, that's pretty hip. Yeah, you don't see stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure with today's data, that's only going to be like just part of it.
Weekend, everybody. It
But
is
that's
warm
awesome.
and humid here in Darlington, South Carolina, but the Southern 500 rolls on. Under caution, just about to
That's
go back
smart.
to green.
You'll be surprised how
173
much heat the
laps.
top of your head absorbs.
There is the overhead shot, courtesy of the Pennzoil
Goodness.
copter can.
Love to mix Mountain Dew with Amp Energy. Well, that's pretty intense.
All right, Jeff Gordon.
I'm afraid those times are a bit behind me. I used to like mixing peanut butter cups with Oreos, but
Eavesdropping on the conversation between Jeff.
I'm glad I tried it when I did.
Members of the crew as to whether or not they've been making the right adjustments as we go along.
Pepsi
here.
with
Let's
DuPont
listen to the
paint,
most recent
Jude. There you go.
conversation in another NASCAR spotlight.
The OG cool suit, exactly.
Take a look at those last two sets, or I know you already have. Are we wearing the right rear out the worst? Believe it or not, Jeff, the left sides are wearing worse. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that we made it too tight and then it was getting loose? Did we go too far in that pattern and maybe we should have went with some wedge instead? I don't know, Ray. Maybe. Did it feel tighter?
Put a pack of ice on your neck? Absolutely. I can just picture that. It's like,
I don't know what's going on over here. The right rear or something. I'm real loose. What is Dick Trickle doing? Can't ask him to move out of the way. He's not racing us, just holding us up. I was just wondering if everybody else is complaining loose.
soda cookies. There's a throwback.
Might have been that set of tires. Mark's complaining loose, but most of the other fours are complaining tight.
You know, the Winston Cup Spotlight, or the NASCAR Spotlight here, they did that for a few years, and then I remember in 1999 at Talladega, they had Todd Parrott on the radio, and he cursed on the thing. And so I don't think they did it after that. I think that was kind of the turning point. It's like, we have a special thing for everybody. We're going to listen to the NASCAR Spotlight of the Dale Jarrett crew, and then he just started talking about the shocks, and it's like, uh-oh. This is the Winston Million One Ultimate 136. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, the Jeff Gordon prank driving commercials, that was good. Where he's like, what, the cab driver with the sunglasses, the mustache? That was really good.
All the way down and got in the face of his father, Buddy Parrott, down here in the 99 pit. Buddy Parrott retaliated. Todd went back to his pit. They're both back ready to go to work as we're ready to go to green. Buddy Parrott says his biggest concern now is that he might be in trouble with Todd's mother.
Green out once again. I guess G would probably take up for the children under that situation. And look at Elliott getting ready.
Cruising. Ooh, Lake Speed just gets in front of Gordon.
Lake Speed dropped down between Bill Elliott and Jeff Gordon at the restart.
And there's Jim Trickle running alongside Jeff Gordon. Got him one. And Gordon goes up the hill. Trickle those new tires. But we've seen those cars come off the corner with momentum. Can Jeff Gordon do it? Yes, he does.
Well.
To the inside of Terry Labonte, but falls back behind him in about a position. We talked to Jeff Gordon.
All right, 91 people in the chat. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. We are, I think, still approaching the midway point of the 97 Southern 500.
Communicating about this race, and I think what we have heard a lot of conversation together and working their process of communication.
Lake Speed, the 9 car closes up a little bit on. Bill Elliott, as Dale Jarrett goes by Labonte, moves into the 3rd spot. Labonte did rip off a great pit stop. Running back at 6th or 7th position, came out in 3rd or 4th.
Here is Jeff Burton looking to the inside now.
Yeah, Michael, yep. So you remember it, too.
Off in the 4th corner, onto the main straightaway.
Chuff Productions, I'm glad this is scratching the lack of an itch. It doesn't even feel like an off weekend in this way a little bit, even if you know the outcome of the race. Remember exactly how we get there is also the challenge.
And he passes Terry Labonte and takes over the 4th position. If points were awarded right now, Jeff Gordon would have a 24.
Oh, hang on. Shepard. Oh, Lance Hooper.
There, the 75 car.
I got it.
Lance Hooper.
Just cleaned him out.
Speed did not, in fact, get a lap back.
This is off of corner number 2 down the backstretch. Rick Mass sitting there along with the 1 car.
That's Mast, okay, yeah.
There was a 3rd car involved, too, I believe, Bob.
check out and see who that
Somebody
was.
had to hook.
I think Lance Hooper ran into the 75 car, the Remington car. But anyway, the safety truck is there to check on the two drivers.
I could have been mistaken.
I think there was a
Goodness.
third car
Yeah,
involved.
you're right. Rick
I
Mast
think,
at the 75.
He was not, his car not injured. Is that a fire? I guess he started it up.
Because, yeah, Rick was in at 98.
Here
Yeah,
it is.
Freddie was in at 97.
And the 78 car there.
Oh, Bradbury just missed it. Hooper tried to follow him through. The hole closed.
Gary Bradbury.
Bradbury.
Lance Hooper in his 5th NASCAR Winston
Is Mike
Cup
Dillon still
start.
out there?
And his afternoon comes to an abrupt end off corner number 2.
Ooh, almost got Darrell,
You see
too.
Mast is spinning back up in the corner as he comes back across the racetrack.
Oh,
and
it's
Lance
just-
Hooper says, hey, well, it's closed on
Oh,
the bottom. But when he
oh,
gets
nose to
down,
nose, and then the wall.
And then Hooper into the inside wall.
Just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Ted Musgrave. on
Seriously,
pit
who was
road.
able to qualify for
Bill
this
Weber, did
race
you see
here?
it?
But
Sure
decent
can.
size
They've made
entry
right
list.
side tire change. They work on the left side. They've also made a track bar adjustment. Remember, Ted got a little bit out of sequence, but now he's got 4 fresh tires and a track bar adjustment. He'll head back out. He's the only one on this side of pit road.
There you
Let's
go.
the backstretch and John Kernan.
Well, Jimmy Spencer had dropped back to one of the last cars on the lead lap. So Donnie Wingo and the crew put their heads together and said, hey, we're that far back. Why don't we just come on in, take on 4 fresh tires?
Hope you can
Jimmy
see him
says
towing
the cars
Hooper's
are
car in the
really good
background.
shape now. Remember they made that hair
Yeah, it's amazing. He got that far down to the wall.
So
Like the wreck happened right at the exit.
fresh tires, and he will once again try to work his way toward the front.
Remember Musgrave and those guys gambled, what, 100 laps ago or 50 laps ago and said, well, 5 laps, that's not too much, we'll stay out there. This time they're going to pit every
97,
time
yep, 97 Southern 500, Tonya. Tonya.
They're going to put fresh tires on them.
You were there. Fantastic.
Rick Mast is out of his car and limping to the ambulance.
The Wario crew. I like that.
Halfway point here at Darlington.
It's kind of this colors there for Spencer, yeah?
Lap 184 is the halfway point. ESPN Speed World live coverage today on this day before
Coming up on
the Grand
halfway.
Mountain Dew Southern 500 from Darlington. There's the overhead shot, courtesy of the Pennzoil Upper Can, continuing to circle this 1.366 mile racetrack. Well, Kyle Petty continues to be in this race. He's back in 34th.
Saw that great
position.
Brennan
He's
Poole
been
throwback
named
earlier this
first
year.
nominee
There's
for
the original.
True Value Man of the Year award.
Man of the year.
True Value, the official store of NASCAR, is sponsoring the Man
Old
of the
school
Year
Kyle
award,
Petty.
and they will give $50,000 to a NASCAR driver who illustrates superiority both on and off the racetrack. 4 years ago, Kyle
Oh, yeah, Michael, yeah, we were
Petty
talking about Juan
won
Montoya a little bit
and
earlier.
raised money for
Yeah, I think it's
veterans.
fantastic.
His ride this year was renamed
Especially at Watkins
Kyle
Glen,
Petty
where he's
Obvious
past a winner.
Racing
It's a
Charity
great idea.
and ran from
In
Texas
2311,
to Tennessee.
they got good
Kyle
equipment.
and all the riders stopped along the way to present checks to area hospitals and to encourage and entertain the kids. In all, over $200,000 was raised and distributed to various charities. Kyle reminded everyone that what drivers do out of the track each week isn't nearly as important as what the hospitals are doing to help the kids who need it. So Kyle Petty, the first quarter nominee for the NASCAR True Value Man of the Year award. As we said, the winner
Awesome.
will receive $50,000, and he will split that money among his favorite charities. And there's a list of just some of the favorite charities that Kyle
Interesting. It
has.
looks like he's got his teammates' rims there. It looks like
Dr.
dark
Jerry
purple
Bunch has
rims
an
instead of the
update
bright
on the
orange on Kyle Petty's car.
There's a lot of moisture. in
Is
the air.
Hamilton already out?
Irvin was involved in the accident. He lost the ductwork in front of the car that keeps the car cool. So we had to bring the car in a couple of times and literally pour water in and around the radiator. The concern was, and Robert Yates asked NASCAR, said, would you let us move up pit road to the empty pit? Because if we pour water all over the front of our car, our pit stall is going to be very, very wet. And we are pitting right beside.
That is
Jeff
interesting that
Gordon.
the,
So when he comes down pit road, he can hit our water.
The charity ride
and
goes that far
slide
back.
through
And
his
Victory
pits.
Junction
NASCAR
wasn't
says
until
he gets
2004.
so they're trying to dry
But yeah, I guess
pit,
the-
on and off
I mean, he's always had a
pit
passion
road
for motorcycles,
and
Kyle Petty
blowers, trying
has.
to dry the moisture up, but it's still pretty doggone wet down here in the Haviland pit.
As the field comes down the main straightaway, they receive the cross flags indicating that we have reached the halfway point of this race, but we are under caution, and so the halfway money will not be paid.
Yeah, it was like a dirt track car on the front of Irvin's car. It looks like it had some clear tape on the nose.
That make up the Mountain Dew Southern 500 have been completed.
All right, how you hanging in there, everyone? We're at the halfway point of the Southern 500 for 1997, about to go back to green.
Rejoin us, the green flag comes out again. We're back to racing.
Trying to get a lap back. And he is one of the fastest cars out there.
Jeff Gordon is still second, and Dale Jarrett is in third as he tries to get around Dick Trickle.
Here comes Gordon on the inside of speed, trying to get on the inside, can't quite make it.
Good, if it rains, it's official. There you go, exactly.
Jarrett sticking his nose to the inside of Trickle.
Man, they're just flying in there.
This looks to be where Jeff Gordon really has a good race car through this first and second corner, but not good enough that time to get by at speed.
Dick Trickle trying to hang in there.
And Trickle moves over, lets Dale Jarrett go by. And Jeff Burton tries to go alongside. He will go by Dick Trickle as well.
Dick Trickle is the first car on, or not on the lead lap. He's
Like speed trying boat racing. Yeah, you would think. I mean, he was so big into go-karts. Maybe he got into other forms of racing as well.
Jarrett is not going to take all that time to get around lane speed, which will be a huge advantage.
11 cars on the main lap. Was in truck position.
Let's take a look at the speeds again.
And we see that Elliott
Elliott just tearing it up.
61.
He hasn't led all the way, but when he's led convincingly.
160 miles per hour.
Yeah, he's involved in quite a bit of traffic.
Everybody else back here running over each other.
Right there, Spencer, right behind Robbie Gordon and Brett Bodine. Jack Roush's car's behind Spencer. There's
That milling car, do your thing and hold up the field for Bill. See that, Isaac?
Car of Ted Musgrave. Also, Ricky Rudd, the 10 car, he's in that race.
Garrett comes back down pit road. He's already 7 laps down. In fact, he has to drop there now.
Last lap, Jeff Gordon was the fastest. Goes
Nope,
again.
everybody faster than the leader.
Ricky Rudd going by Brett Bodine. And Ted Musgrave loses, I start to say losing another spot, but Brett Bodine, Jeff Bodine, the 7, he has a lap down to the 16, so now the 16 car is back in 11th spot.
Ricky Rudd trying to bounce back a bit here since he won the Brickyard 400.
Whenever they started constantly showing the running order, was a huge advancement, Dirty Def. I mean, it's a good point. I mean, the top 10, I mean, even if somebody like me likes watching the back of the field, I mean, this is fine because you're at least seeing like who's contending for the win. But yeah, if you're trying to track strategy and stuff, I mean, at least have a full leaderboard available. But you don't have to have it on screen.
Bill Elliott, the leader at the halfway point of this race. 7 of the 22 races. Now won by the driver running up front. John Kernan is with Lance Hooper, who is involved in an accident with
Oh, you get a Lance Hooper interview.
And he has been checked out. Lance, I guess you're all right.
Yeah, I'm fine. Just my pride hurt a little bit. We had a real bad qualifying effort, but the R&L Carrier team stood behind me, and we kept plugging away at the race and getting the car a lot better. And we were avoiding all the wrecks, but the 75 car spun in front of me. The spotter told me to go low, and next thing I knew it, he was in front of me, and I hit him.
Took a pretty good lick there. It looked like from the damage to your car.
Yeah, we hit him pretty hard, but I'm all right. Rick's all right, and I guess we'll get him next week.
Hey, that's Lance Hooper. He's okay.
Ooh, Lance Hooper. That's a rare one.
He was taken out by Rick
West Series competitor.
Down the racetrack.
Yeah, Sloth Nerd. Yep, still Pontiac for Chad Little. I think that didn't change till 98, if I remember correctly. And then he ran a Thunderbird with the 500.
Field summary. He's closing in on Bill, isn't he?
Yep, closer and closer. He's just a third of a second behind. Benny pointed out there a moment ago, he really gets off turn two up there. That is a good spot on the racetrack for him. And as you well know, driving this track for a number of years, that's a good spot to have a car working good for you. You can get through sort of wrestle the car through there, but you get through pointed now 1 and 2 over there is the key.
Yeah, Strickland 2 laps down. Okay, no, Hamilton's still running. He started 40th and is still 2 laps down, 24th.
He's been able to put a few car links on
Irvin off the track.
Tries to catch Bill Elliott.
Bradbury 10 down. That's a bit surprising. I don't think he's been in an incident. Craven and Petty have been in incidents.
Once again, that last lap, Jeff had the
Hooper
fastest
missed.
speed.
Marlin's engine failure took him out. Jeff Green, Purvis.
Races here, including 3 wins. Not only Winston Million today, but trying to become the first driver to win 3 consecutive.
There you go. Dylan has climbed up enough spots. Oh, quite a while ago. Only had to complete about 5 laps to get around Earnhardt. Or Earnhardt to get around Rusty. Ran the T-Bird at Talladega as well. Good point. Good point, Brian. Yeah, kind of like Billy Standridge that way with his Thunderbird we were talking about back at the Daytona stream.
Martin has just picked up another position.
Making a lot of adjustments on his Valvoline forward.
He is the points leader coming into this race today. Watch everybody come through and pick up Mark. There he is, running just ahead of Johnny Benson.
Well, you heard us talk about
You're cool, Death Killer. I think since, I don't know how long you've been out of the stream, but we did have a restart for accident with Lance Hooper and Rick Mast. We actually got an interview with Hooper a minute ago. Other than that, Elliott's looking pretty good.
Then we'll let him go. Just keep cranking. Lower the track bar about 4 rounds, and now Mark says, hey guys, we're starting to feel a little better.
Well, he is right on top of that steering wheel.
You want your arms collapsed like he has them, because that way you're able to put your shoulders in your old.
That's right, yeah. J-Ski sponsored Billy Standridge, yep. What a cool deal. And then sponsored him again for Daytona the next year, right? Because, I mean, they had the actual banner there so you could see that picture, that famous picture of everybody shaking Earnhardt's hand. And one of the banners in the background is the J-Ski one for the Standridge's pit.
Really turn that thing back and forth, but as you start running long races like 500 miles a year Darlington, you want that wheel really close to you. All over the years, because I always kept my arms out pretty straight.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah.
Mark Martin has an average finish of 4th in the last 6 races. That's best among all of the drivers. All right, let's go back up front, check on Bill Elliott, see how he's doing. Looks like he's doing just fine. And we'll also check the Busch race recount. Bill has led 125 of the first 201 laps, 7 lead changes, 6 cautions for 37 laps, the average speed.
It's dominating performance.
Those who have picked up 5 bonus.
Gordon's led the second most laps, but this is not, at least at this point, a very dominant run for the Rainbow Warriors.
Musgrave, Waltrip, and Bobby
Jeff
Labonte.
Gordon that slowed there all of a sudden, coming off turn 4. Don't know if the car got loose with him or what happened.
No, Jeff Burton gets him.
Car lens on it, went by, and here comes the 99 car, Jerry.
Ed, you're exactly right. Just a moment ago, the radio told Bill Elliott, hey, don't worry about the 24 car. It's about now he's going to start getting loose. And about that time, Jeff Gordon told Ray Abraham, it is really getting loose. And Ray said, you know what it is? It's that right rear tire we're heating up. That's why it's going to be hard to hang on, particularly down in turns 1 and 2.
Huh. So just like clockwork, huh? It goes away.
That right rear tire heats up, it'll make her loose.
Check the speeds at the line. Remember, about 10 laps ago, he was the fastest for several consecutive laps.
And that might be why that he got loose on it. You can see he slowed down almost almost 2 miles per hour slower than the leader and 2.5 miles per hour slower than Dale Jarrett and Jeff Burton.
I'd have been putting a little bit too much on that right rear tire, keeping up with those fast speeds. Oh, Bill Elliott smooth out there.
Man, oh man.
Those tires.
Well, we were in a
Yeah, it's too bad Sloth Nerd. I mean, Bill Elliott had a lot of great runs for his team. I mean, I know he struggled a lot, and I know he doesn't look back on it too favorably. But, you know, yeah, especially by 2000 when they won the dual race with Kevin Cram, father of Xfinity driver Dawson Cram, as his crew chief. They were looking good. Should have won a couple races that year. Were good at Charlotte, good at Daytona. I think they were good at Indy that year. Like, yeah.
Taken to the hospital earlier in the race. We'll have more on that when we come back to
Well, we're going to have another update on Earnhardt here in a second. Michael, I have seen NASCAR The IMAX Experience. Yeah, I'm glad it's on YouTube. That's fantastic. I watched it when it came out in 2004 down in LA, and that was fun. There were only 5 people in the theater, but it was still great.
You want to wait a little bit, though? Not give up all the track position right now? Unless Elliott comes in, right? You only run 3 laps, bud. You're doing good. We'll keep working on that thing, trying to get it better. I mean, you know, right now we need to rubber it. That's what we're going to end up having to do with it, Jeff. But you're doing good. Main thing you got to do is keep that thing.
Yeah, the 99 to 2000 pace scheme was really cool. I like that open top 4 design that hardly anybody uses.
Ray Everett, I'm telling Jeff Gordon, you're doing a great job. Keep calm, keep collected. We'll have a caution flag in just a moment, and we'll adjust on this thing, and it needs the rubber. I don't know which spring, but it needs rubber. And guess what, folks?
The caution just came out.
Don't you love it when plans come together?
And that's Jimmy Spencer, the reason for the caution. It's the
No, Spencer.
of the afternoon.
Ooh, that nose looks a little. Yeah, it looks a little off.
And the leaders do come down.
Oh, all right, I don't know why we jumped ahead here. They're supposed to do an update on Earnhardt. I wonder why they clipped that out. Unless it was separate news report or something.
A little bit tight, but told the guys, leave it alone, don't make any adjustments, just change 4 tires. Meanwhile, the car number 24, Jeff Gordon, Ray Everett said we're going to take a partial rubber out of the right front and put a full rubber in. They have the right front tire off to DuPont Chevrolet. They're taking a partial rubber out, putting a full rubber in. The 94 car is down on the way, the 6 car down on the way, the 74 car still sitting on pit road. They finally get the rubber in, and now the right front tire back on. They will pull the jack and come on the left side. Gordon is down and away.
So he gives up a lot of traction out there, but the main thing is to get the car handled.
You love when a plan comes together? Exactly. Yeah, I want to see what happened with Spencer. I don't know if they get a good view of the car. It kind of looked like almost like happened to Irvin.
Another to the next pit stop, and then to make that change, then he'd have to fight. He wouldn't have that many laps to fight his way back through. So I think that was very wise to do it now, so that he still has about 150.
So you want to keep your videotapes now? Yeah, there you go.
Watching him go down the back.
Catch all these little moments.
Third turn.
I'm sure he'll come back in, change those left sides.
Yep. Yes, indeed, he is. Ray looks toward turn number 4 and sees Jeff coming.
Luckily, now you have so few cars on lead lap. It is about survival.
Left change, Jerry.
And of course, they had warned Jeff that there might be some moisture in 28 pit. With this heat, that moisture has been long gone and dried up. Now they have made the adjustment on the right front with the partial rubber out and the full rubber in. They will bring the DuPont Chevrolet back down pit road for left side tires. Jack going underneath that big dollar sign just right below right above the jack stop. Left front tire, left rear tire on. He puts it in gear and pulls away.
Well, as he goes out now, he'll be in 10th place. With Bob, we talked about having a lot of time, guys.
Uh-oh, we got weather in the area.
Couldn't see it, but boy.
He might not have as much time as we thought.
Yep.
If that cloud comes over the racetrack, that looks mean.
It sure does. Jerry, you have more?
Well, NASCAR just reported to some of the teams that they looked at the radar and rain is 20 miles out. They said rain 20 miles out. They're not sure if it's going to come this way. Remember, yesterday it rained very profusely in downtown Florence, but did not rain here until late in the afternoon. In fact, it rained about 2 hours there before it rained here. So we'll wait and see if the rains will come. Meanwhile, we're under caution here at the 48th running of the Mountain Dew.
Even the pit reporter is doing the call to the commercial really well. I mean, Marty Snyder is one of the few people that do it these days. Dr. Jerry Punch is a pro.
Received an update on the
oh, here we go.
Earnhardt situation. Now, Mike Dillon is driving his car. Let's go to Dr. Jerry Punch for the update.
Well, Bob, it is very good news, at least what we've heard so far. Dale Earnhardt was taken into Florence to McLeod Regional Medical Center, where he underwent CAT scans, computerized scans of the head, neck, chest, and abdomen. And all those scans, we are being told, are negative at this point. He is awake and responsive and alert and undergoing further tests, but at least those tests that we're concerned about right there, the CAT scan of the head and chest and abdomen, are negative, and that's great news. Let's check in over with John Kernan.
Well, a disappointing end to the day for Jimmy Spencer.
He got
wall up there, broke the brake rotor. Now the whole
heartbreaker.
Right wheel assembly. And Jimmy, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. You know, I just really feel bad for my Camel team. You know, we had a heck of a race car. We didn't qualify nowhere near where we needed to, and got us on the back straightaway. We played catch up all day. We kept catching up. Finally, that wall caught us, and I don't know what was up there. I don't know really what happened, but, you know, I was driving a race car, so I got to take the blame for it simply because I had a good enough car to win the race, and I should have probably been a little more patient at the time. Thought I was as good as I needed to be, and this place will grab you in a heartbeat. I want to thank the Lord I'm all right. I hope Dale Earnhardt's all right. I want to say good luck to
look at this.
Selzy and Whit Bazemore and the Winston.
I just love seeing like this kind of repair work like that up close.
All right, Jimmy Spencer. Let's go to Bill Weber.
Well, all day long, Buddy Parrott has been coaching.
Are we getting FOMO for coming back out and
be patient. He's just told him if you can get to the lead,
going back to the track there again? But not looking to do more of that rest of this year, but next year, waiting on the schedule, see what we figure out.
Allison from $1 million. Dr. Punch.
Formula NASCAR thoughts on the Mr. P situation. No thoughts. No thoughts. I don't have all the details on that.
The only guy ever to win $1 million here at Darlington, and today they want to keep it that way.
As we go back to green, Bill Elliott is in front, and Bill has won all three.
There are pictures of Earnhardt being worked on when they took him out of the car. Oh my goodness! I saw there were some photographers and a camera guy out there.
38 so far today.
Well, he got himself a good jump. Dale Jarrett was hoping to.
I could really see how dark it's getting off of turn 2 there. Seemed like it was a pretty sunny race for most of this, but yeah, it's definitely moving in. That's another cool thing with a longer race. People complain about like races being too long. I think it's fantastic. You want it. It's got to be an endurance match at some point. You want everything to be a 300-mile, sprint. You don't want it to be just an Xfinity race.
Is back in 8th position now after that lengthy pit stop.
Right now, I think the car is trying to push a little bit. That rubber in the right front, I think the car is trying to push a little bit more than he usually does.
There was a stretch of races like after this one. I think it was like, maybe not 98, but like 99, 2000, and into 2001, like it seemed like every Darlington race was affected by rain. Like they just had a real bad stretch. Just like Watkins Glen used to never have qualifying. It was always raining whenever it was qualifying. So you're like an expansion team. You just never really get a good shot at getting into the field.
Let's check the speeds line.
Wow, look at Dale Jarrett, 160.
Sounds like you're actually there. Exactly, doesn't it? The audio is awesome. The video is so clear. It's about as clear as it would have been watching it originally. Whoa. Power move. I mean, this is just, they're just hammering it out there.
That time, Jeff Burton was the fastest car, a little bit faster.
faster than the front two. Comes Gordon down to the inside of Kenny.
Those cars have run together a lot this weekend. Moves up and lets Gordon
Need the vortex theory at play. Yeah, very good racing. Coming down to it.
Not a bad run for Kenny. There's the pole sitter reversal last week. And now Dale Jarrett is right up on Bill Elliott.
Oh, he's reeling them in. Man, DJ's tough here. You know, and I'm sure he's hoping that, you know, his car would have been this good in 96. Just had some bad luck.
He's in trouble.
You can see the extra dirt on the right side of the windshield from the outside. Look at that. Oh, my goodness.
Nope, our 6 leaders have been Elliott, Gordon, Jeff Burton, Ted Musgrave, Bobby Labonte, and Michael Walter. We have an AutoZone on-track interval here, last 2:17 to 2:21, showing the interval between the...
Thank you, everyone that's voting on the poll for the race next Friday. We will do our next stream will be a Richmond race of 98, 99, or 2000. The link is in the pinned post here as well. Looks like they're all pretty close. We'll take the top spring race, top fall race, match them against each other in another elimination style vote, and that will be the race we will watch next Friday. We will not do one next Tuesday, we'll do one next Friday. I think Fridays will work better for right now. We'll see how things look once the season kicks back off again here. But yeah, I haven't ruled out doing any of these other streams once the racing gets going again, especially if it's something tied in with the weekend. I think that would be really cool. You know, do a Talladega race on Talladega weekend or so forth. Oh, it's getting darker.
Jeff Gordon as he closes in right on the back bumper. Jeff Gordon, folks, in case you've been under a rock.
The pole tournament, exactly.
$1 million bonus if he can win this race.
Yeah, the metallic blue on the Musgrave scheme. It's not as good as the original one, but I mean, but still, the Prime Star one, it still looks nice. It's still very nice. Look at that.
Ray, you made an adjustment on the car, which apparently has made the car better, but the weather is moving in. Do you have enough time?
Car's not good enough. You know, I got a feeling the weather's going to go by us, so we'll see. But we're going to have to work on the car just a little bit more. We need to make another couple stops, Jerry. Hopefully we'll get it.
You know, it's a special day. You want to win the million, but you also got a special assistant.
Getting around Michael Waltrip.
That's right. Andrew Jackson is on the pit box. He was the inspiration for a 10,000-person bone marrow drive in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And, you know, we're real proud to have him on board here with us, and hopefully it'll inspire a lot more people. You know, I want people to see those people that are waiting for bone marrow transplants are not statistics.
Got a little over an hour remaining here for those of you tuning in.
That is 14-year-old Andrew Jackson. You're looking at it right there. What an exhibit of courage he is. 10,000 people signed up in Fayetteville because of this young man's courage. He has the exact same leukemia that has afflicted Rick Hendrick, CML, chronic myelogenous leukemia. This young man hopes to someday have a bone marrow match and maybe be a professional baseball player. Well, we got to tell you, folks, they are in desperate need of minorities to step forward and be bone marrow donors.
Barry Bonds, the baseball player for the San Francisco Giants.
Strickland, hang on, buddy.
Go out and be a bone marrow donor because he has a young man that mirrors Andrew Jackson. A young man, 15 years old, wants to be a baseball player. Barry Bonds met him, fell in love with him. He went down, became a donor, and he's urging all African Americans to go by. Folks, I met Andrew Jackson. Trust me, that is a young man worth saving.
Well, every leukemia patient is worth saving, that's for sure. But you need a special young man down there in the...
I'd like to believe that Andrew Jackson's been a baseball player since then. I don't know much about baseball. So that'd be interesting to find out.
I hope he's right. I hope we don't have to interrupt this thing because of weather, but it isn't looking very promising in back of the main grand.
Oh, look at those fan-made flags there. Oh, that's so cool.
So that's going to maybe affect a lot of people's handling here as the race goes along.
Welcome, Adam. Glad you're enjoying the stream. We got some weather rolling in, but we're coming up on the 100 laps to go. Still a torrid pace in this race.
At the conclusion of 235 out of the 367
I mean, you really have about 6 or 8 cars that have just kind of completely separated themselves out from the rest of the field.
The most laps that Elliott has ever led in a single Darlington race was 154 in the 1988 Southern 500, and he is about to lead his 158th lap. So it's a banner day for Bill Elliott.
Looks like the Bill Elliott of old. He has been good right from the get-go. On NASCAR Today this afternoon, he told Dave Mustaine that they're trying something new on this car. He hoped it worked. It looks like it's working. I'm sure that's something in the chassis setup maybe that they hadn't used before. How about it, Jerry Punch?
Ned, you and Benny are exactly right. Mike Beam, the crew chief, told me this chassis right here, something they came and tested with last week, is something radically different. He said it is not a Hopkins, it is not a Laughlin, it is not anybody else's chassis. It's sort of a start out, something they've changed and they have found. And Mike said, I can tell you who built the chassis, but then I'd have to shoot you.
Something special chassis. I was just looking. I haven't seen anything on Andrew. I mean, I looked up Andrew Jackson baseball. Look up a player from turn of the century, but
It's up there flying around in some pretty stiff wind and maybe
I don't know.
some rain nearby. But
Anybody's.
nevertheless, it's hanging
I mean, it's a common enough name that it might be.
Well, there have been 3 drivers.
This
who
one's
have
he was
won
born in '96,
3 of
so that'd be too young.
Jewel races. Leroy Yarborough in 1969, David Pearson in 76, and Bill Elliott in 85. But the program didn't start until 1985, and so Bill is the only one who picked up the Winston Million bonus. And Jeff Gordon continues to come to the front. He's about to take 4th place from Terry Labonte, his teammate. And for the past few laps, his has been the fastest car on the racetrack.
And maybe we said that maybe that adjustment worked. The
Ooh.
racetrack in its entirety now is under a cloud cover. Maybe that is helping them. Maybe they didn't get as much as they needed to get up, and the clouds are helping them. Who knows? Looks like
Looks like.
between himself and his next opponent, which would be the 3rd place car of Jeff Burton. In fact, there's almost a little over 8 seconds.
Unfortunately, it looks like the Andrew Jackson story did not have a happy ending, at least according to Reddit. I'll post it in the chat if you want to see it. But yeah.
He had lost a little momentum as he passed Labonte off the corner, so this should be a good indication of how fast his car is versus those 3 Fords up front.
Seven.
Oh, he's drifting in high. This time by, we see the 94 car at 156, 134. That time he was the 2nd fastest to Bill Elliott, but Elliott, the leader, was a little bit quicker. He's about 8.7 seconds behind Bill Elliott. Jeff Gordon is. We'll check and see if he's this time by. Once again, Elliott faster than the other 2 cars. Here comes Gordon, but
Yeah, I'm seeing some verification on that. Gordon Online archive from April of '99. Yeah.
Now, however, he has some clean racetrack ahead of him. A lot of it, as a matter of fact. Full straightaway.
Yeah, that's too bad.
The Haynes car direct in front of Elliott. And there comes Jeff Gordon, as you said. A lot of racetrack in front.
Terry Labonte, Michael Walker, and
Yeah, here is. Yeah, I think this is probably where they got the Reddit post from. There's a old Gordon online segment that brings it up there too. Oh man, that's rough.
You're right. I think those loose race cars with this cloud cover is getting faster. Michael Wolf's out on the racetrack. Martin turns and gets alongside Michael. And he makes the pass.
Ooh.
Yep.
Mark into 6th now.
Oh, that's pretty hit. See people message me about
The Ryder name is where the driver started.
something else here.
Jimmy Spencer, by the way, is back in the race after repairs behind the wall. Mike Dillon is running the Dale Earnhardt car and is 82 laps back in 35th.
Spencer is 25 laps down, being shown in 3rd position.
25 down for Spencer. What a rough deal after such a great run at the start.
Strange thing happened to Dale Earnhardt on the first lap of the race.
Oh, we're gonna get another update here.
It was several laps before he came in. When he did, as Mike Martin takes away the 5th position from Terry Labonte. He was carried to the infield care center with oxygen on his face and then transferred to the hospital where tests so far have been negative. Boy, those dark clouds are back there, but it hadn't rained yet.
And I hope it doesn't.
So do I. Still got 121 laps to go. In the last 6 races, Mark Martin has earned the most points and has had the best average finish of 4th.
And that has moved him into the points lead coming into this race.
And not only earned the most points, but substantially the most points.
The CART PPG IndyCar World Series rolls on at Vancouver.
Oh, we got CART coming up.
Molson Indy Vancouver, where Alex Zanardi could wrap up the championship. It's coming up right after our coverage of the 48th running of the Mountain Dew Southern 500 from Darlington.
Well, looks like under caution.
Leaders on pit road. Bill Elliott, Dale Jarrett, and Jeff Burton all here for 4 tires, fuel, get the windshield clean.
We gotta be just outside the pit window now.
251 laps in the book.
Oh well, still a ways outside of it. Yeah, more than 100 to go still.
Elliott, Jarrett, and Burton are watching all 3 cars change tires left side down.
With Burton's team pulling out the left front fender.
Now he is down and away.
Elliott just blasts out of that stall.
And away as we see lightning flashing off of turn 1.
And so the weather continues.
They got lightning outside the track, but no lightning hold back then.
Position ahead of the 99.
And every car on the lead lap stopped. Often some, especially Ricky Rudd.
Oh, there's Chad.
Might have stayed out there in case it rained and the race not restart. But every car stopped.
We are under caution because Kenny Wallace got up into the wall down in turn number 1. He
Ooh,
shedded the
used it up quite a bit.
right front tire and has also got a lot of other damage to the car. And then, as he was driving around the racetrack, we had another incident.
That poor Philmar car. They struggled even more in 98. Ooh, and he gets in the cope. Oh.
And here comes the leader, Bill Elliott.
Oh, wow. Barely missed it. It's reminiscent of 85, where Elliott had all those close calls leading the Southern 500. He had a close call in this one. Oh, my goodness. It's an absolute minefield out there.
Did beat Elliott back to the start-finish line and got one of his 2 laps back.
Yeah. Derek Cope is now 1 lap down in 17th position. So the caution is out here at Darlington.
Cope had a few solid runs. Even in his first season when he won the Daytona 500, he was good at Southern 500 that year, too. Oh, what we got here? Another adjustment.
They've also put a half a round out of the right rear, and a moment ago they came in and took the left rear tire off and pulled the pin to disconnect the rear sway bar.
Oh my goodness. Massive adjustments. But again, so few cars on the lead lap that can do that.
Now down off the jet as he moves back down pit road. Weather is something here. A lot of people talking
Look at
about,
that.
There's the full rubber they just took out of the right front. They put a half a rubber back in.
Hey there, Carter. Thank you for tuning in.
Some serious adjustments. A lot of concern though over weather. Will the race win? Excuse me. Pick up a million. We'll find out in a moment.
Oops, sounded like somebody was right near Dr. Punch when he was talking on the microphone there.
Next time around, we'll be going back to Green Flag Racing here in the Mountain Dew Southern 500. Join ESPN tomorrow at 7:30 for NFL.
Yeah, the $1 million date thing, the Rego 1456, just a reference to going for the Winston Million after he won Daytona and the 600 that year. Sometimes teams would do special paint scheme for it. Bill Elliott had a backwards roof number in 1985. I don't remember what Jarrett or Davey had. I think Davey's number was upside down in 92. I think. I don't remember what Jarrett had, though.
Versus the Packers.
The Bears, that's right.
Packers.
Well, there have been several drivers who have won 2 Southern 500s in a row, including Jeff Gordon. Some of the other great names in stock car racing are above him.
And the drivers won 3 in a row. My goodness.
And Earnhardt. And now Jeff today, in addition to going for the $1 million bonus, goes for his 3rd straight Southern 500. Right now, he's back in 10th position.
So Gordon restarts 10th, just outside of 100 to go. You really hear the wind blowing against the microphone there. Something's really blowing in. Thought it was fireworks there, the way that. Elliott is fighting tooth and nail. Ooh, Jarrett! Yikes! That was a gutsy move. What on earth, Jarrett? Absolutely gutsy. Had to do it. Had to take advantage of those fresh tires. You're right. Yeah, he would win 4 in a row. It was crazy. That was a fantastic move by DJ, even for his standards. Elliott's staying with him, and so is Jeff Burton. My goodness.
Back in Darlington, South Carolina, Jeff Burton has gone into 2nd position, putting Bill Elliott back to 3rd. The lead continues to be held by Dale Jarrett. Well, NASCAR Online.
Absolutely. Lake Speed's awesome.
NASCAR.com,
www.nascar.com.
Series and Craftsman Truck Series. NASCAR online at www.nascar.com. Coming up next, will Alex and Artie clinch the PPG Kart Championship for 1997? They're racing at the Molson Indy Vancouver, and it's coming up after the conclusion of our coverage of the Mountain Dew Southern 500. And we have 102 laps to go.
All right. About hanging on now.
Bobby Labonte are battling for 5th position, and right behind Bobby is Terry Labonte, and here comes Jeff Gordon. Has passed Ted Musgrave.
Absolutely battered field of cars coming by.
Since we went green.
Almost 2 seconds behind the set of tires that he's got on now is not working as well, and I would predict since his car has gotten a little tight.
There goes Jeff Gordon to the inside of the 8 car driven by Hudson, just 2 laps down in 19th. Hutt was, however, in the lead lap for a long time. He's having another good run here at Darlington, not nearly as good as he has had in the past.
Ball was spin out there in turn 1, I believe, earlier today. Someone got into someone else, and there's a couple cars started.
All 4's in the top 5. Yeah, there you go. Oh, Thunderbirds really came out to play. I mean, Gordon had his work cut out for him big time. And the garage area getting very full. Dolan back out after he was pushed behind the wall with a radiator problem.
We're back at Darlington under caution for a crash in turn 4. The 88, 99, and 24 on your screen. Dale Jarrett and Jeff Berger both passing with their car.
I guess he just eased into that commercial break.
And fuel, then head back out onto the racetrack.
Oh, looks like Kenny Wallace coming off pit road. Looks like even more damage. Boy, listen how mean these things are when they launch. 17.5 for Gordon. He's going to be behind Jared. Wow, Elliott washed out.
Wow. And look at Michael Walton, the Shedco car. Great pit stop for the Wood brothers. Got out in second place.
Here is the reason we are.
Oh, not like speed.
Ted Musgrave, turn 4.
Come off the corner. And Musgrave.
Oh, just caught him at the wrong spot. Oh, not Ted Musgrave. That's too bad.
And around goes a 16 car, and Ricky Rudd comes along. He gets Jeremy Mayfield.
Oh. Oh, it did clip Rudd. Rudd got some body work coming off the car.
Is that about the way it was, Nick? That's the way it was to me. Okay, here it is again. Musgrave up high. Looks like his car might slip a little bit. Well, it does there.
Good question, the Rego 1456. Or when the wiping down the grill or windshield get phased out. The windshield got phased out once you get the tear-offs, so that went away. And I don't think they had tear-offs for the grill because you would just have tape for the grill that would actually change how much air came in. They had the brush. They had the thing that go over the wall and brush the grill off. And then, of course, nowadays, I mean, you can't really even do anything with the grill because you got the body work under the car. I don't... You know, I'm trying to remember when cleaning off the front grill like a Darlington ended. Probably, I mean, at least with the car tomorrow because that lower grill was in that little inlet where the brackets were. It'd be hard for a person to reach. You know, and then I don't know. Probably around that time, I would imagine.
Handling problems, and there was a lot of question marks and a lot of decisions to be made. This is how they reached their decision as we take a look again at a NASCAR Spotlight.
Spotlight?
Still, that right rear, or at least the rear tires just do not want to grip coming off too.
Yeah, what years do you use the long poles? I don't, you know, some of those things just feel like they always had them, and then they're gone one day. You don't know why. Like, I don't know. I honestly don't know, Joe. That's a good question.
But, I mean, I would like to take some of that front spring rubber out of it if we could.
I always figured the tear-offs came in like 2000, 2001. Like, it's pretty close to this.
Pull the pin on the sway bar. Pull the pin on the sway bar. He's coming on pit road. Pull the left rear off, pull the pin on the sway bar. I was already closed up. You should have called me a lot earlier. He's closed up. We're going to pull that full out. We're going to put a half back in. I want to take one round out of the right rear. Andy, have you got somebody to do that one round out of the right rear? Okay. You go up behind the 10 car. You know, we're back behind all the lead lap cars. Ain't no big deal.
Great communication there.
I admire these guys. They keep working and working and working, trying to make that car as fast as anybody there. Bill Weber?
Another team that's been working hard today, especially on pit road, the Sitco crew. Michael Waltrip has had some excellent pit stops. One that was 18.10, but the last two, 17.41, and this most recent one, 17.22. Now, his car is better after they run 10 laps. Green about to come out. Watch the 21 car behind DJ.
Green flag comes out on lap 279.
Hey, birthday Jeff Gordon this Sunday. Well, hey, there you go. That's well timed. Didn't plan on that, but there you go.
And if the points were awarded right now, look at the tightness. Jeff Gordon with a 15-point margin on Mark Martin.
Seeing a lot of people like the Kmart car that Mayfield ran. It is cool. got a distinctive color pattern.
Coming down the front straightaway.
Michael Walker time now through the corner, leaving it open for Jeff Gordon. He's going to take advantage of it and take that second spot. And the crowd is up in arms, cheering, and that's what I'm doing.
Crowd going nuts. That's awesome.
Now Jeff Gordon moves to second position and is about a half second away from Dale Jarrett as the drama
He
continues
is
here in
flying.
Darlington.
Was he close to that wall up in 3 and 4 or what? Elliott goes by Michael Walker, goes in the third spot. And then maybe he's got a better set of tires.
I mean, this is really a good case for like crown jewel races, and you know
Run Bill Elliott did. He
how
had
critical that was back then.
all day long. Let's see what they said. That time by the 99 car, Jeff Burton was the fastest car. A little bit faster than the leader, but unfortunately he's in the same spot.
Ooh, boy, they're getting closer and closer to the wall there off of 2.
It's not over yet, ladies and gentlemen. We have 281 laps completed out of 367, and Jeff Gordon is back in second position, just a little less than a second.
Goes Jeff Burton on the warpath here.
Dale Jarrett back in a moment.
Oh, there's some classic merch.
It's Labor Day weekend in Darlington, South Carolina, and Jeff Gordon, who is running second in the race.
Yeah, I don't know why we don't hear the crowd as much, Michael. I mean, exactly. You're right. It does add to the atmosphere of the race so much.
PPG Championship is up for grabs in the Molson Indy Vancouver. That's coming up next here on ESPN after the conclusion of the coverage of our event. Jeff Gordon now at about 0.7 of a second behind Dale Jarrett.
I'm with you, Desert Fox. Yeah, I wasn't a big Gordon fan at all, especially for his dominance. But yeah, it's incredible what he was able to do back then.
For the last 5 laps, they've averaged out about the same.
They don't have any traffic ahead of them for a long, long time, so we're not going to have to worry about that.
Coming down to the final fuel run to the finish.
Interval leaderboard, the fastest is on the racetrack.
Jeff Gordon, a little bit faster than Dale Jarrett. He's on the 99 car. About the same speed, just a little bit slower than.
Jeff Gordon had the fastest lap at over 161 miles an hour. Here is Jeff Burton coming up on Elliott, by the way, has clinched the 5 bonus points for leading the most laps here today. He led 180.
Jeff Gordon, faster than Dale Jarrett. Jeff Gordon, folks, if he can keep it off the wall, he'll be okay. He is using every inch of the race. Look how close he comes to that wall.
And they are absolutely using it up. Wow. I mean, I guess when Gordon was in position to get the Southern 500, the Ford teams all just stepped it up and were like, nope, not on our watch. Still a 3-second gap. Burton gets by Elliott. Yeah, the bonus points, I agree, Joe. That was, it definitely made, it was an interesting storyline, like about who led the most laps, because that should be rewarded. I mean, you talk about stages and stuff, but I mean, like, leading at an arbitrary point in the race, that's one thing, but I mean, like, or getting top 10 at an arbitrary point in the race, but actually leading the most laps, yeah, that should be rewarded. You know, if you have a bad run, but you lead the most laps, it should offset that a little bit. Hey there, Marvin. Thank you for tuning in. That was 2000 Atlanta or 2000 All-Star race. Yeah, with you, Desert. Yeah, that's a really good All-Star race too. But yeah, that was when the NASCAR fans against Jeff Gordon, he was probably at its peak. You always had people that weren't liking him, but once Gordon actually, lost some championships and actually, you had other guys like Jimmy Johnson come in there. I think that calmed that quite a bit. And then you go into later stage Gordon where, he seemed like he was probably about as popular as ever. But he had a edge to him, too.
Jeff to close in just a little bit. So we'll continue to track the activity here at Darlington with 75 laps to go. Jeff Gordon still in the hunt for the Winston Million, but he's second to Dale Jarrett at the moment.
Dick Trickle back in the top 10. Fantastic.
And we're under caution once again here at Darlington, this time because of rain.
Oh, no.
Enough to bring out the caution flag. And quite frankly, everybody was quite surprised when those on the lead lap came in for pit stops. Coming out with the lead, Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, I was totally surprised that they would come in because the caution is for weather.
See, Ray Evernham talking to his driver, telling him, here's the caution flag, there's the pace car, pit road is open. Here comes Gordon. Dale Jarrett stays on the racetrack, and then all of a sudden he turns left.
Well, he was not going to stop, but boy, that cost him a lot right there.
Yeah, look at that. Wow, Jarrett pits for what would have been the lead. It goes all the way to third even before his stop. Oh, my goodness.
Everybody moved down to his assigned pit. The crews went to work. And here's how it went.
In the middle is Bill Elliott. Elliott is working on something on the right rear. You see Jarrett gets pissed off complete about the same time Jeff Gordon went. But Bill Elliott will go back to 8th spot. He spent a lot of time working on something in the right rear.
Ooh, boy, Martin got loose getting his pit stall, too. Got squirrely right in front of Jeff Burton.
Yeah, they're putting tape on the grill. It also looks like a piece of debris has gone through the right portion of the grill, and we don't know if it got into the radiator or not, but at least the mesh right there is exposed, is open. So it looks like Elliott had some contact also on the left lower. Let's go up to Jerry Punch.
Well, what a time for the Rainbow Warriors to pull off their second best stop of the day. Jeff Gordon's crew, led by that man right there, Ray Evernham, 17.66 seconds, 4 tires.
Wow, Butch Miller and Dick Trickle are best friends.
They have been celebrating.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. That's something.
Down, high-fiving, smiling. You'd think they just might have won $1 million. How about it, Bill Weber?
Chad.
Well, Jerry, that entrance to pit road was unorthodox because Dale Jarrett was going to stay out. They told him to stay out, and he said, but everybody else is coming in. So Jarrett came in, too. The only problem was he'd already given up some precious pit road track position before they made that final decision.
We still have a long way to go there. There are 70 laps left in this race, so let's not draw any conclusions yet. Here, once again, is the entrance.
Yeah, look how far Jarrett had to come. Wow. That is crazy. I mean, that's quite a way to lose the lead.
Gordon comes out with the lead now as we await the return of racing, but right now we're under caution due to rain.
If you ever watch a Jeff Gordon pit stop, wonder whether they're putting the wedge in or out of the car, it's a very simple way to figure it out. They've got color-coded wrenches now. This ivory-colored wrench, ivory starts with an I. They use this ivory-colored or white one for in. They use the orange one, which starts with an O. Orange is out. So the orange means they're taking wedge out. The ivory one, they're putting wedge in. So if they have a wrench over the wall and the crew member in a fluster of trying to get things done, forgets which way he's going, he realizes, hey, I got ivory. I must be putting wedge in the car, still turn it in the right direction.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
And, ladies and gentlemen, evidently whatever the rain was in the area is gone because the signal is going out. One more lap.
Lights went out on
I don't think that would fly today. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, which color is the wrench?
Sprinkles, but it was enough to bring out the caution. But now we are set to go back to competition with Jeff Gordon in the lead, and there will be about 65 laps to go when the green comes out.
Which they could make it from here on the pit stop as far as fuel is concerned. Back early in the race when we ran the green flag, they ran up to about 68, 70 laps.
Boy, those tires, will they be slipping and sliding at the end of these 65?
I love these just little Easter eggs in these broadcasts, just little things like that. That's just fantastic.
Ray Evernham and the Rainbow Warriors have got guided him throughout the afternoon into the front spot. Dale Jarrett and Terry Labonte are going to be lined up right behind him. Then Mark Martin and...
Oh, you're right, Brian. Yep. I remember that. Yeah, Rick Mast ran the T-Bird in the 99 Bud Shootout. That's when he had Budweiser as the sponsor of the car, because the Cale Yarborough team didn't have a sponsor going into that season.
The car up there beside Jeff Gordon is Jeff Bodine.
And that was pretty much the last time that they ran it, right? I mean, was there any other... I don't think that was the year. I don't think Bradbury ran a T-Bird in the shootout. I'm trying to remember if he did.
Green.
Okay. Coming down to it. Oh, Jarrett is there. Jarrett is there. Here he comes. The crowd again. My goodness. Wide open.
Nope, Gordon will lead. Well, Dale Jarrett knows how it feels to be in contention for $1 million and losing it. He did last year. And there are no give-me's here. Every man for himself.
Trust me, if he wins $1 million today, Jeff, he and this entire team will have work for it.
So T-Bird you've seen. Okay, Brian. Right on. Well, thank you for checking. Don't mean to be scratching my nose so much. I'm just not used to not having the mustache here. It's throwing me off. I haven't fully decided whether to just not have that or grow it back again. Ricky Rudd in the 6th spot, despite getting a little bit of damage in that earlier incident.
We saw that the last time. Those fresh green tires, the 24 car is very fast, and then after about 10 laps, the 88 car starts coming on. Once again, Jeff Gordon is using the racetrack. They got to be thinking maybe that this race will go green the rest of the way. Those tires as much as they can.
Jeff Bodine up to 10th. Fantastic. Lap down, but still. Pope up to 12th. Trickle falls back to 14th, loses a lap. Yeah, Bodine doing a great job.
Turn 3. As he closes in on the back of Lake Speed, trying to catch him. Lake Speed and Mike Walter not racing for position.
He needs to gain about 2 positions to have his best finish of the year. He has finished 7th 4 times this year for his best finish of 1997. Right now he's running 9th, and one of those 7th place finishes was here in the spring.
Need facial hair to compete with Lastbro. No, that competition's already over, Willie. He's got the Chester A. Arthur thing. You remember for the picture from our Kansas trip there. Yeah. I'm used to keeping this down here. Like, that's fine. So, yeah. It's cool when somebody enters the top 10. You get to see their number on the little leaderboard there in the corner.
Accepting at the beginning of the race. He just kept on going. Everybody else started slowing down. So we'll see how it plays out this time.
Jerry Punch, what's the deal?
Jeff just said last lap he brushed the wall. He brushed the wall. He asked the spotters the next time by, see if I got something rubbing over there. He just yelled the wall. That's all he said.
Oh, yeah, the right side scraped up.
That fender is very, very close in the right rear.
Hey, he's got a piece of debris. He's got like a cheese wrapper on the lower grill. Oh, yeah. Jarrett, I mean, he is just racing it so hard. My goodness.
You wondered if Jeff Gordon could drive the way he was driving for the last 50 laps. Off the wall, because, folks, he was using every inch of the racetrack. You see everyone talking about the car.
Now, does it rub enough that it might cut a tire? That's a big concern. We still got that championship to think about.
We've seen some smoke coming from the right side of that car. Didn't see any that lap, but I think it's pretty definite that it is.
Yeah, that's a lot of smoke for just an occasional
What
rub
you just
there.
saw Ray Evernham tell his driver was that the spotters are saying you're getting a little bit of rub through turns 3 and 4. Otherwise, it looks to be okay. We're going to keep a watch on it, and we'll keep you posted, Jeffrey. You're doing a great job.
There you go.
In any case,
Just hanging in there.
closing in. I believe that was 4/10 of a
I mean, at this point here, you're trying to go for the million. Championship points will take care of themselves. Even though he is trailing Mark Martin by just a few points, and Martin not really being a factor in this.
Right against that fence. That won't let him do that, boy, does it?
He's just trying to get breathing room on Jarrett, but Jarrett's just so good. This is a great split on the screen here, too. Being able to see all this at the same time. Fantastic camera work, production. Ooh, yeah, that's a big piece of it. Yep. Just grabbed him.
Once again, he's right up against that fence, so close. Folks, I'm telling you, the kid is trying so hard to stay in front.
Yep. My goodness, Jarrett cutting the pit road there is just cost him the win at this thing.
It's not much for the million, it's the trophy on the mountain case.
That Gordon's going to be extremely tough to pass.
Jeff Gordon leads the Mountain Dew Southern 500 with 50 laps to go. If he can hold on, he'll win $1 million. Stay with us.
Early Bonnie and Mark still make the top 5.
The interval between
Oh, Jarrett's got him again.
continues to shrink. The shot
Oh my God.
soil copter cam will show you that what
See, we don't need restarts. Just on the edge of your seat, just count the laps down. See, can he make it?
as Jarrett chases Gordon for the win here in the Mountain Dew Southern 500. We might mention that if Jeff Gordon wins the $1 million, if he wins this race, he will also go back into the point lead and would win another $30,000.
Yep, the stationary cams off the turns. Those are good.
$1,000 in every race, and if the driver wins the race and is the points leader, he collects that and rolls over from one race to the other. So what you're saying is this is the third
Jarrett
race.
is just hounding him.
Now Mark Martin, who came into this race as the points leader, is back in 5th position.
But Benny, I think he's having to be very careful not to overuse those tires. This race stands a good chance of going green the
Well.
rest of the way. And if it does, those tires are going
It's
to
going to be very close, Carter.
slip and slide.
Oh, there's Nemechek.
Whoever takes care of his tires the best is going to be in the best position for the race. Jeff Burton is closing in. He's just a little over a second behind. And when we started this, he was almost 3 seconds behind.
While we watch this battle, you got a shot of Joe Nemath. Joe has been nominated for second quarter NMPA Spirit Award. While speaking of the NMPA, there were 3 drivers inducted into the Hall of Fame last night. They were Jack Ingram, Buddy Baker, and Blake Bonnet. Congratulations to those drivers and their families on their induction into the Hall of Fame. And of course, Ned and Benny are both members of that Hall of Fame.
Okay. See, again, now you got 3 guys that pretty much broke it away from everybody else. And Elliott's terrible stop at the right rear completely took him out of contention. I mean, you really see.
Also, remember the National Motorsports Press Association Hall of Fame. His son passed away yesterday morning. However, he didn't make the banquet last night.
Oh, goodness.
Jeff Burton is really closing in, isn't he?
Since he got close enough here for he sniffed that lead there, and he's moving in fast.
Boy, they are completely by themselves.
For the 99 and 88 per race for about the next 30 laps and use their tires up while he sits out front and cruises.
Wiping sweat.
Just putting the pressure on Jarrett.
Ray Evernham. Pretty cool. He's been cool all afternoon.
Yes, sir. He is pretty cool.
Just intense. Hey, could they be riding? Possibly. Maybe that's where Jarrett's got him. Burton's caught him there, but Jarrett is still completely within striking distance. This is the great thing about a long green flag run at Darlington. You would just have people just chip a little bit away at a time, but then so close to actually hitting the wall.
15 points coming in.
Burton's all over Jarrett for second. Where his fourth place? I don't even know how far back Terry Labonte is.
Still as good as they are, as hard as he has
Man, oh
run.
man.
He's been running almost a mile an hour faster than Gordon and Jarrett, and catching them. And
Tire
he's
rubber in
still
turns 1 and 2.
maintaining a good pace.
40 laps to go. Still on the line.
Ooh, Jarrett really having to breathe it there coming through turns 1 and 2.
Will it happen?
This is right position.
And more exciting auto racing coming out. With this one, the Kart PPG Series is in Molson, the Molson Indy Vancouver, and Alex Zanardi is going for the championship in that event. But Alonso Jr. would like to pull.
What a great track. Absolutely. Isn't it? I mean, just riveting. I mean, it's so much. I mean, in person, it's just a fantastic place. But when you watch it on TV and all the little adjustments, you know, it's not even, I never call it a one groove track. It's like a half groove because there's just no room for error at all. We're watching the 1997 Mountain Dew Southern 500 Laser Bro. Thank you for tuning in. We're coming up on the last 38 laps of the race. Jeff Gordon going for the Winston Million as Dale Jarrett and Jeff Burton right behind him. Ford has dominated the day between both of them and Bill Elliott. Elliott had a bad pit stop, dropped him back to 8th. Dale Jarrett had a last-second choice coming down pit road that cost him the lead, put Gordon back out front. Gordon's team chasing adjustments all day with Ray Evernham and the crew.
Maybe none of them have shown their
And now, these are your top three, completely settling the race between themselves.
including those tires now. And I had a feeling that Jarrett was doing that all along, but who knows? Jeff Gordon might be doing the same thing.
What time of race is broadcast during this time period, the Rego? Good question. Usually, here on the West Coast, they would start about 9:30 or 10 a.m. Pacific, so 12:30 or 1 p.m. Eastern time was very common. Night races probably about the same time they do now, where it's about 4 in the afternoon our time, 7 Eastern. But yeah, these day races, they were always very early. And then the 400 at Daytona in July would be, they used to call it breakfast at Daytona because it would be like, you know, like 8 a.m. Pacific or like 11 a.m. Eastern. So that would be about the time then. But that was back when the Pepsi 400 was during the day, which I think is still pretty awesome. But, you know, it's unfortunately kind of gone away. Although the night race is still special, and, you know, even this year with the schedule being a little different, it's going to be quite the show, too. Yeah, it does. Well, what's great about it when you have a race that early is it doesn't take the whole day, which is nice. I kind of like to just go back to that. You know, I don't know. Ooh. Oh, hang on. Oh, my goodness. You can hear Ward Burton's tires screech, and Jarrett seemed to back off first. Luckily, didn't get run over by Burton. That was unbelievably close. And we really didn't need the caution to come out. We were having a fantastic race between the top three. Pepsi 4 does sound better. I'm with you.
So now, what happens, guys? Don't you see pit stops?
Oh, yeah. They got to come in, get on some new tires. I believe they will come in. I believe they will change tires. And who will win the race off pit road? The winner off pit road.
How did they miss it? I don't know. And they were very close. And there's so few cars on the lead lap. It's time for the money stop.
The first 3, 4, 5, the cars on the lead lap are coming in. Bill Weber.
Dale Jarrett had told his car is better than he was showing. Maybe just a
Now, do they pull the fender after Gordon hit the wall?
by Jeff Gordon. Right now, all the leaders on pit road. Jarrett. The 2488.99 on your screen. Jarrett getting right side tires. Will get fuel. But is also in getting the right side tires. Gordon in his pit as well. They swing around to the left side on these cars. Very much. 4 tires on the Jeff Gordon to pull the right rear fender out.
Yeah, 4 tires have to. I mean, they wore those things out to nothing. Gordon gets ahead of Jarrett. Ooh, very close. Martin almost sideways again, leaving pit road.
Because Terry Labonte beat him out.
And he lost about 3 or 4 positions. Yeah, Terry Labonte beat him out. So did Ricky Rudd, Mark Martin.
Bill Elliott beat him out of the pit.
Yep. Well, the Rainbow Warriors are huddling now and
It's up to the
discussing
driver now.
strategy here in the late going. Okay, let's go back to turn number 4 here a few laps ago and watch this incident involving Ward Burton and the leaders.
Yeah, look at Burton right up on Jarrett. Jarrett backing off.
And they're just driving into a cloud of smoke. They all turn left because they don't see any smoke down there.
See, and again, it looked like there were no cars in front of them. They were just so completely by themselves. It's shocking to have the car spin right in front of them like that.
See there, Dale Jarrett slows down, almost gets hit in the back by Jeff Burton as he apparently saw what was happening up there, and he slowed down. And he and
Unreal.
Jeff Gordon go to the left, and Jeff Burton stays back there.
Oh, look at Jeff had to hook to the right to get around Ward.
Let's ride along with Jeff Gordon and see what he sees.
Oh, God.
Nothing.
Oh, God, you can't see anything. Oh, spotter came in clutch there. Look at that. That's you just literally couldn't see anything. You just hope that he doesn't come down the hill. See, look, Jeff, you can see him being indecisive, trying the left, trying the right. Unreal. Unreal. My goodness.
Stopping moment here in the late stages of the Mountain Dew Southern 500.
This is fantastic. What a race. Good pick, everyone.
Vancouver. We were supposed to be off the air at this time, but we got a few more laps to run. The PPG kart race is coming up at the conclusion of our telecast. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Mountain Dew Southern
And we're back.
500 here at Darlington Raceway in South Carolina, and we're about to go back to
Barton.
Here's the situation. 336 of 367 laps have been completed, and we are about to go back to green with Jeff Gordon, the leader of the race, followed by Dale Jarrett, Terry Labonte, Ricky Rudd, Mark Martin, Bill Elliott, Jeff Burton, Michael Waltrip, and Bobby Labonte. Those 9 cars on the lead lap.
9 drivers on the lead lap. We whittled down the field big time.
They did not work on the right rear quarter panel, the right rear fender. And we saw smoking when he brushed it.
They didn't work on the fender. Wow.
Now he has those new tires on. He's going to be really going to that corner. Extreme pressure on that tire. The car will go down. The body will drift down. It may rub that right rear tire. We'll have to check and see.
Let's go down to Bill Weber.
Well, the 99 crew is very, very proud of their pit stops, but they've had a disappointing day. On this most recent stop, they had gotten a set of tires from the 12 car, and because those tires had better codes, they thought it'd be a better match. They were going to put those on the 99 car. When they went to put them on, the lug nuts were not tightly glued to the new wheels. They fell off. A lengthy pit stop. They lost valuable track position.
Oh my gosh. So they got Jeff Purvis's tires and they weren't glued right.
His home in Charlotte fighting leukemia, but Rick was able to talk to the drivers and the crew, but he hadn't said a thing all day until just now. As Jeff left pit road, Rick got on the radio and said, I believe, Jeff, that we can do it.
Oh, somebody's going to believe. Here we go. Great restart for Gordon. Jarrett's right there. Again.
I didn't see a lot of smoke in that 24 car. That's good news for Jeff.
Yeah, he pulled the tire off, pulled the fender out. Who knows? Jarrett's just so fast. And now, I mean, fresh tires for everybody. Everybody's going to be fast, but still.
This is utmost speed when he goes down the corner. Don't see any.
Just a little bit.
There's a little bit of smoke, yep.
About midway through the corner.
Fast pit stop as they made, they didn't have time to pull that fender off. But they know that as they run a few laps, as we discussed earlier,
Jeff Burton to the inside of Bill Elliott, looking for 5th position. Marches toward the front. He lost positions there on that pit stop, but now climbs back toward the top.
he's about 3.5 seconds behind the leader.
It looks to me like that Jeff Gordon is stretching it out just a little bit.
Just a little.
This is what happens every time that Jeff
Jarrett just reels him back in again, though. I mean, I don't think he's getting away that much.
about the same, and then the 88 car starts gaining back. But we talked about 2 cars. That's been a big lead, Bob. Is that what you're talking about?
That's right. It is. It has been for the last few minutes. It's a huge lead. Here's Bobby Labonte passing Michael Waltrip and going in 8th.
Yeah, Michael's still having a good run.
Right after the conclusion of
It's
this
unfortunate Spencer's run went away with the issue with the hub there.
Michael Waltrip back in 9th spot.
There is the interval between 1st and 2nd.
He's stretching it out now, Bob. I think he's got a 2.5 car.
Well, now the two of them are pulling away from Labonte and everybody else. Burton's still mired in 5th.
But what Jeff Gordon would like to do is keep Dale Jarrett from moving right up on his bumper, making his Chevrolet loose. So that 2 or 2.5 car lengths looms large.
Miss ads being put on the dash of the car. Same here with the Country Time lemonade cans there, too. How about that?
Ken Schrader with a top 10 going. Here's Burton again, taken 4th from Ricky Rudd.
Man, he's got a good race car.
Burton got a good piece. Pulling away from Rudd already.
This is a very, very tough racetrack to negotiate around.
Elliott trying to get up there.
Hard time to control the cars on the racetrack becomes almost impossible to do.
The drivers have been out here for over 4 hours. You know they're getting tired. But they got to muster up
Schrader in 10th.
strength to complete this thing.
When they come around, there'll be 22 laps to go.
Oh, it's compelling. Look at these different lines they're trying around there. Jarrett just keeping the pressure on.
Here's Jerry Punch.
Well, the most valuable bottle of the Gordon pit is not fuel, it is acid. This little bottle of Rolaids being passed around among the Rainbow Warriors. You think there isn't pressure down here and stress, knowing that within a little over 20 laps, they may have a shot at $1 million. They're thinking about it and talking about it.
And Dale Jarrett now mounts a charge and comes up right on the back bumper of the 24 car of Jeff Gordon.
Dylan in the 3, Nemechek in the 42. Yeah, a little deja vu. Burton up to third.
He's now up to third, or Jeff Burton.
Jarrett is on Gordon. Here we go. Time to rattle him.
Last lap, Jarrett was faster than Gordon, but Burton was faster than everybody.
You remember from the 500 Days episode how good Jarrett is at Darlington, and that was 4 years after this. Yeah, they really did pull away. I mean, these two definitely had the best car in the second half of this race. Once Elliott faded a bit. Elliott up to fifth. He's going to try to get fourth from Terry.
As we saw the last time, it's going to slow him down just a little bit.
The points were awarded now. Jeff Gordon would have an advantage on Mark Martin as the two would once again switch positions at the top.
That's how much those tires are screaming going into one.
Fastest that lap, Gordon second, and Elliott third.
Darrell Walker has slowed dramatically on the racetrack. Darrell not having won as well. 22nd place, a couple laps down, but he's coming very slow off turn 4 right now.
Did DW drop it off the pace like they're saying?
Continues to run well.
This car just doesn't seem to have worked as well as it did. Well, when that sun was shining, he was tough.
Boy, Jarrett really getting close to getting under him.
Chevy drift up right against the wall. You keep it up there, now he'll turn left and bring it down off turn 2.
Right there's his strength coming off that turn 2. You see how much he picked up coming off that turn?
This is some good stuff. Oh my goodness.
I guess.
Ray Abraham continues to communicate with Jeff Gordon. That team. And look at this. Race cars all over the place. Bobby Labonte taking away a spot from Mark Martin. And
there we go.
Labonte is in 7th. Mark Martin back to 8th. The Unical bonus money will
And as mentioned in the chat here, yep, Schrader in the top 10. Great job for the Andy Petrie team. Here comes Elliott for fourth.
Behind Jeff Burton.
13 and a half laps to go. Wow. Getting down to it.
Well, let's see. Yeah, let's see where Jeff Burton is in relation to the leaders, but Jarrett's losing a little ground now this time.
Andrew Jackson, assistant crew chief today, watches Jeff Gordon go by. Young man looking for a bone marrow donor.
Godspeed, Andrew.
Nice looking young man.
Jarrett's right there. Yeah, Rudd running very good without a rear bumper.
Jeff Gordon finished 3rd in the spring race here. Then Dale Jarrett won.
Bill Warburton limping around. No! Not the Clemson car.
Jeff Burton has slowed down to about 2 seconds now with these guys, but does he have enough time to catch him and pass him?
Yeah, they're just starting to mention Burton, but yeah, he's still... Yeah, he's there. He's there. He's about a corner behind these two. With 11 to go, that's plenty of time, or maybe just enough time.
Laps to go. Then we'll take it to Vancouver
Oh, yeah. He's reeling them in.
But this man, Jeff Gordon, has $1 million on the line. The Winston Million has only been won once, back in 1995 by Bill Elliott, the very first year it was offered.
All right, Dale Jarrett did. He's going to give his all right now. It's time to go. He's going to go. Yep, it's time to go now. You don't save those tires any longer. If you got anything left, you got to.
Yeah, just use them up now.
Jeff Gordon might be saying the same thing. Okay, he's got to go. Because Jeff Burton still continues to gain on him.
Oh, yeah, Burton's coming. Burton's coming big time. You can hear him whoosh by now at that stationary cam. Yeah, he's there. Jeff Burton is just flying around here. Elliott fourth. He got by Terry Labonte.
This race is 367 laps. They have run 358.5 laps. It's that close. Look, it's not going to be long with that 99 lap coming in that picture. Look there. He is definitely on the move.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look how much Burton has gained in just the last 2 laps. Oh, he's very much there now. And see, Jarrett's lost a little ground to Gordon. Not a lot, but enough. Spencer pulls out of the way.
It's going to really be a problem.
Yeah, Jarrett's losing ground. He's maybe trying to get another run at him, but he's on Gordon for so long.
Getting the black flag, but he's staying down out of the way.
Ooh, Darrell Waltrip almost got into Burton. Man, that was close. That was a dangerous place to pass. Lap traffic is going to be a real big issue.
Olsen Indy Vancouver Kart PPG race coming up next here on ESPN.
Okay, well, Gordon's opened up just a little bit of a gap, but got Brooke Bodine to get around.
Did not impede their progress whatsoever.
Burton's looking low on Jarrett.
Boy, Jeff Burton, what a run he has had today. Oh, man. Come from far back and run this time. Ooh, Gordon slipped a little bit off the turn that time. Jarrett runs right up on him.
Ooh, Gordon drove it in deep that time, but it washed him up. Oh, Jarrett's there. Jarrett is there. Oh my God, what a race.
Gordon is the leader and will win $1 million if he wins it.
Oh, Jarrett slipped a little bit that time.
Yep, Burton's got to make quick work of Jarrett here if he's going to do anything.
But Jeff Gordon is having a little bit of trouble right as he comes off of turn 2. Before that was his strong point.
Go up and catching Mike Dillon at the wrong spot. Jarrett's going to, ooh boy.
4 to go.
Burton all over Jarrett. Oh, Jarrett's getting too high into one. It's going to open the bottom here. Ooh, ooh.
Standing in their living rooms right now, waiting to see if Gordon is indeed going to do it.
But is the kart race next? That's what I need to know. The Molson Vancouver. Oh, here we go. Here we go. But look, now made it pretty quick, but Gordon got away.
There are less than 3 laps to go, but the interval now that Jeff Gordon has, the lead that he has grown just a little bit.
Yeah, that pass led him to pick up about 5 cars.
A little string of rubber or something coming off the right rear of Gordon's car.
Looks on.
How many more laps?
2 to go. 2 more laps to go.
Way better camera angles. Oh my God. So compelling. You're showing the people involved, but that's fine.
He picked up a bunch that time coming off at turn 2.
Burton is there. He is there. He is there.
For some reason, and Burton closes in. How much is $1 million? Well, 1,000 times 1,000. Or perhaps you can better understand in these terms.
Here he goes.
Oh, here we go. Oh!
Contact.
Oh, he's there!
Corner side by side. Jeff Gordon holds off the challenge.
What a
This is the
run!
last lap of the race, folks.
Burton tried the Ricky Craven move in the high lane. Oh, Jarrett got the wall a little bit.
Lengthens it out as Jeff Burton and Dale Jarrett drop back just a little bit. Here he comes off of the fourth corner. Jeff Burton will make
Burton
a
got
jump
loose.
off the corner onto the straightaway. But Jeff Gordon holds it.
What a race. Oh my God.
If you were to be paid $1 million, John Kernan.
Ray Abraham, you guys refused to lose, and you guys won $1 million.
Yeah, you know, that just shows this team. Very fortunate to be
That Burton had that massive run there. Got under him, just wasn't quite enough.
You know, I don't know what to say. I'm stunned. I'm very fortunate to be part of this team. These guys work hard. They work together. They make great suggestions. You know, certainly, you know, it's something that we can look back on. Jeff Gordon's a great driver, but this is a great race team.
And not only the Winston Million bonus, but the only driver to win 3 straight Mountain Dew 7,500s.
That was Rick Henry.
What a run. Look how much more tore up the right side of the car is.
If you were repaid $1 for every hour you're alive, you would have to live more than 114 years to accumulate $1 million. And although lots of achievements can't be measured by numbers alone, today numbers are important.
Jeff doesn't know where victory lane is.
For only the second time in 12 years.
I love that Bob Jenkins had the call there at the end, but he wisely jumped out of it there when Burton was going for it.
3 of NASCAR's 4 Crown Jewel events in 1997.
Crown Jewel races.
The Winston Million.
What a performance.
In just 147 starts, he has moved from 8th to 6th on the all-time earnings list and could become NASCAR's first $6 million man in 1997.
He's not happy, is he? Let me get out of this car. Somebody break this car up. Let me go down and high five everybody.
And our coverage documented, I think, quite well how he and Ray and everybody else worked and worked and worked throughout the race. Finally got it right, and he won it.
And the Brinks truck is
That crowd going nuts.
Saying, I got $1 million here for you, Jeff.
Well, that's an awesome thing. There's the Brinks truck, all the money. Running it down.
There it goes.
Throwing the money up in the air. That's right.
Quite a moment for young Jeff Gordon, who has had so many emotional moments during the years. This certainly has to be another one. Right at the top of the list. The Daytona 500 win, the Brickyard 400 win.
Didn't the Brinks truck pull in front of him? I thought there was a shot of that.
NASCAR Winston Cup Championship. The crew heads to victory lane. And that's where the check to Jeff Gordon will be presented. There's Brooke.
Still throwing money out the truck.
That last lap was something, wasn't it?
Such a cool deal. Yeah, the Noble 5 was great. I mean, but you know, the Winston Million, it would be wise to bring something like that back. It would. A full season kind of thing. There's no reason we can't have this. We could very easily have this again. Yeah, it must have been after the race. I'm with you. Well, one of the greatest to ever do it.
They've been wanting to pay out that movie.
Yeah. A great day for Jeff Gordon, for NASCAR, for all the fans gathered here in South Carolina. And Jeff Gordon is back in the points lead also over Mark Martin.
Got my hat, my Pepsi.
5.
There you go. Yeah, no Powerade blocked in this one.
Here's our McDonald's drive-through winner circle interview with Dr. Jerry Pines.
Hey, Team Wayne Robertson and Jeff Gordon and Brooke. Let's get over. Jeff, you are the man, the $1 million man. Congratulations.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. I should have never won that race, Jerry, but oh my goodness, good Lord was looking over us. Man, what a team. What a team, man. These guys were busting off some great pit stops. And if I hadn't been out front, I don't think we could have won it. But I want to thank God
all the product placement in the background. All that Mountain Dew.
This team and myself never to give up, and that it could be our day. And it
You have to put on the roof of the car. You said some guy do this.
Chevrolet, what a great car. Goodyear tires, boy, they hung in there for us. And Quaker State, of course, Pepsi. And of course, R.J. Reynolds, boy, I tell you what, I got to thank them for this $1 million. I'm blown away. I should have never won that race, Jerry. I really shouldn't have, and I didn't think I was going to. But I did tell you earlier in the week, if it came down that last lap, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get back there.
What about the last lap? They're stacking the money behind you, so you got plenty of time. They got a Megan to stack in behind you on the car. That final lap, you and Jeff Burton, it got awfully close.
You know, my car picked up a really, really bad push. I thought maybe I could hold them off for 3 laps, but all of a sudden when I come down to take the white flag, the right front just went away on me. I didn't know if I had a fender rubbing or what. And I saw him coming, and I blocked him. He hit me in the rear bumper, and I was just glad that I didn't spin. I kept it going, and that slowed his momentum down enough to where I could block him. I'm sure he's not happy, but Jeff, $1 million. Come on, buddy. What'd you expect me to do, man?
Hey, we heard your car on the tape on that last restart. Rick Hendrick from
Vintage
said,
Jordan.
I believe, Jeff, I believe you can do it.
Was that Rick? I don't think that was Rick. I think that was just a voice that sounded like Rick. But I hope he's watching. We love you, buddy. And, man, this is so awesome. And you don't know this
Doesn't
yet,
that Pepsi look refreshing? Oh, I can't imagine after
100,000 of
this long of a race.
Go to the Bone Marrow Foundation for the Leukemia Society. We got Jonathan here in our pit today. He needs a bone marrow transplant. We're looking for a match. And the least we can do is at least give $100,000 to the Bone Marrow Foundation. Thank you.
All right, Jeff Gordon, the American dream. He had $1 million date, and for the second time in the 13-year history of the Winston Million here at the track Too Tough to Tame, a driver collects it. What a job by Jeff Gordon.
He led 116 laps here this afternoon, and he led the one most important, the final one. And so Jeff Gordon writes his name in the history books as the second driver to ever win the Winston Million, and it came in 1997. Here are the unofficial results. The
Elliott still led the most laps.
Those who led a lap, Elliott picked up the 5 bonus points for leading the most laps. 9 cars were on the lead lap when the checkered flag fell.
Chad Little got a good run, 11th place. Good for him.
Look back through the field there where your favorite
Mike Dillon managed to climb from last place to 30th by the finish. They lost it 9 laps.
But Mike Dillon got in the car and picked up 13 spots.
See?
Good effort there.
A good job climbing up. I mean, salvaged what was going to be a terrible day.
Presentation to Jeff.
Randy, I got to thank R.J. Reynolds and Winston Tobacco and for everything that they do for Winston Cup racing. And I tell you, I'm gonna have to have him come back more often. And you're gonna have to come to every race from now on. Give away some more money, but this is just an incredible, unbelievable day. I really never thought anybody could ever win this million again, let alone 3 Southern 500s in a row. Oh, that is awesome. I want to thank Mountain Dew and Pepsi for putting this great event on. And I tell you what, I'm just, oh my, I can't believe it.
Here are the points now as we head.
And Gordon takes a point lead for Martin.
Gordon on top by 25. Jarrett is third, then Labonte Burton, Bobby Labonte.
Oh, Mike Dillon in 6th in points. Not quite.
10. We'll be in Richmond next Saturday night. Coming up next, the Molson Indy.
Is that the Molson Indy Vancouver? Is that next?
The possibility of Alex Zanardi winning the title for 1997. Jeff Gordon has won $1 million here by winning his 3rd straight Southern 500 at Darlington, South Carolina. Thanks for joining us. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
All right, well, that will do it for tonight. Jeff Gordon pulled off a dramatic victory to claim the Winston Million, the first driver since Bill Elliott to do it in 1985. Elliott leading most laps, but not at the end there after some bad luck on pit road. Gordon holding off first Dale Jarrett and then a charging Jeff Burton towards the end. Burton would go on to sweep the Darlington races in 1999, and Gordon would win the other Southern 500 between then in 1998, extending his streak to 4 straight Southern 500 victories. Just one of the many other accomplishments in his career, not to mention the fact that he would go on to win the championship in 1997, his second Winston Cup, and just a tremendous season and a tremendous race there as well. So that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. My website is lastcar.info. The Twitter is at lastcaronbrock. Patreon is patreon.com/lastcaronbrock. Be sure to follow my Twitter at lastcaronbrock, where you can have the vote for next week's stream. We're going to do the next stream will be next Friday at the same time. We're going to do a Richmond race from either 98, 99, or 2000. So the votes are ongoing there. Be sure to check out that if you haven't already. And we will jump right back into that and kick off the race, the return of the Cup Series next week at Richmond. So have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, and I'll see you all next time.